Fart.
Ah!
Fart.
Okay, comments about us being late. Not late. Guys, on time. Brilliant on time.
A new complaint. Too early.
Too early. Guys, we have a reason why we're late, and it's very good. I'll tell you guys why we're late. And look, it's gonna at the end of it, you're not even gonna be like late. We got a call from TJ in crisis mode. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, it was a frantic call. Guys, I don't know what to do. And like me and Paul, like, oh shit, we gotta drop everything. You know, we gotta take care of TJ. And he's like, guys, you don't believe it. I'm sorry, but I shit my pants. I shit my britches, boys. And I'm real sorry about it. And I want to tell you guys right now, I admit to the 24-hour stream, I did it. I shit my britches. I'm going to jump off a bridge. And we're like, TJ, don't do it. It's okay. Just make a video admitting what you did. So TJ's going to make a video. He swore to us. He's going to make a video admitting what he did on the 24-hour show.
Yep. He's going to put it up on his channel. So go check that out.
Yeah, whenever that happens. But he
come clean, finally. It feels weird to use the term come clean when he's talking about shit as
come
bridges.
Dirty. He's
going to come dirty. Yeah, Suey. Of course, Suey. Why you got to put a question mark at the end of it? Suey?
Is this like the Onision? Suey?
Onision. There's a fucking name I haven't heard or thought about in fucking like years, man.
Well, just the question thing made me think about it. You know what I mean? Suey.
What happened to that fucking kid?
I mean, I think demonetization. You know what he did? Last time I ever checked it on Onision, I think he made his channel like you had to pay him. It was like a membership thing. So I think he was trying to like grift enough people because you couldn't get money any other way. You know, it's like, oh, for like 99 cents, you can have my whole back catalog or whatever and all my new content. That's the last thing I heard of Onision. Like, I know he got involved in some shit with like legal shit because his kid fell out of a window or something. You know, I heard this all secondhand because I don't really follow the drama with it. But he got embroiled in a bunch of shit. But he couldn't make money off it anymore though. So it's like that's the problem. Like, see, there's never been a problem with drama as far as the guy is concerned, but it's the drama you could monetize. If you can't monetize your drama, then why have it?
Right. Yeah, good point.
You know, well, for someone like that, at least. I mean,
of course.
I'm not.
I mean, I'm kind of the same way, dude. At this point, like, if I'm gonna have like actual drama, I want to be making money on it.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't need that shit, dude. I've had enough of that. I've had enough of that in my life.
Had enough of that for a lifetime, dude. I mean, because there's personal drama, there's YouTube drama, there's like political drama, there's too much drama.
His most recent video is 1.5K views uploaded a day ago. That's just crazy to me, dude. Really? A lot of you probably don't remember, but Onision was fucking super popular for a while.
Oh yeah, dude. He was getting like millions of views.
Oh yeah. I mean, he had some viral videos and he was like, everybody was talking about him, whether good, bad, or otherwise, and he just has disappeared, man.
Well, I think he's on that blacklist, dude. I think, you know, he had so much controversy like surrounding him that it was just untenable for them to do nothing to him. So it's like, look, we're not going to ban you outright and piss off the people that actually do like you, you know, but we're not going to really help you in any way either, you know. So, I mean, 1.5, that's astonishing that he's fallen that far. Like, it really is.
Well, I've been obsessed with finding a clip of you saying whoop whoop. Please drop a whoop whoop for a Patreon subscriber. Okay, well, since you're a patron, whoop whoop, whoop whoop. You can use whichever one of those you want. There's 2 whoop whoops for you. How's that? But I didn't
interfere,
so it
I didn't say a thing. So
yeah, shouldn't be super hard to find me saying whoop whoop. I say it quite often. We cover Juggalo news here when it's pertinent. You know, I've admitted that I was a borderline juggalo.
Kind of borderline. You're a quasi juggalo. Huh?
I did the face paint once. But it was Halloween. Like I went as a juggalo for Halloween. So that I don't think that really super counts.
Was it in the spirit of being a juggalo, or was the spirit of like you would wanted to pretend to be a juggalo?
No, I mean, it was, you know, like I did the Violent J makeup. My friend Waylon did the Shaggy 2 Dope makeup. We were both working at Blockbuster at the time, and they let us dress up. So we both went as the wicked clowns. You know what I mean? I think it was.
Dude, what I would pay to walk into that Blockbuster back in the day.
I know it's crazy too that they even like allowed that type of shit, but they did. They didn't give a shit. Well, like back then, because I would have been like the 90s. You know what I mean? It would have been like 97 or something. ICP was still super underground then. They hadn't really like gained national recognition yet, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, they weren't quite to the level. I mean, when did they peak? Like early 2000s, you would say?
Yeah, I would say like with the Amazing Jekyll Brothers, so that was like 98 or 99, I think that one came out. So I'd say like yeah, late 90s, early 2000s was probably their peak. But I mean like it's hard to say too because you know, they've become even more well known as they get older. I think they've become kind of a meme and they've escaped into the public. So I don't know. Like, I know their albums aren't doing as well anymore, but as far as their like profile and stuff, I feel like it's higher than it's ever been.
Yeah, dude, they had the Juggalos March on DC, didn't they? They did something like that.
Yeah, they had the Million Juggalo March.
Yeah.
They're still doing the gathering. Yeah, there was a gathering this year, I guess, and
a lot of people show up. It looks like. I mean, it's
dude. I still want to go to that shit, man. Every time I still got like just. I know I would be miserable there too. That's the thing. It's like it's gonna be dirty, stinky, hot, sweaty, muddy. Just gonna be like annoying fucking people everywhere, but there's a part of me that feels like I got to fucking go to the goddamn fucking gathering, man. I feel the siren call of the gathering.
Paul, your life is empty. It is without meaning until you come to the gathering.
You must come to the gathering and stick your face in some big saggy juggalette titties. All right, I'll do it.
Eat some crack on a stick.
I'll do it. I'll gain fucking 25 pounds and do a bunch of inadvisable drugs at the gathering.
Dude, it needs to happen, man. The only stipulation I would have, Paul, if you went, is you have to have a camera crew follow you around.
Yeah.
So you're miserable. You're miserable, but it's all caught for posterity.
It's sad because that's become kind of like a trope now too. It's like every year for the gathering, one of these bigger, you know, like commentary channels or whatever sends somebody to the gathering to film it and blah 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 blah. And we missed out on that wave, I think.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, the thing is, those Paul, is you could actually go there. I think you would actually go there and be more legitimate than them, though. And I'll tell you why. Because I think you actually know ICP. You actually have some love for ICP. You're like obsessed with them or anything, but like there's an actual like bond you would have with it. So I mean, like, yeah, you'd be miserable, but you'd be miserable because, you know, it's like, oh, I gotta walk around. I'm tired. It's fucking sweat. I'm sweaty. Like I think you would enjoy the interpersonal interactions you would have and the crazy shit you would see.
Some of them I probably would.
Some of you wouldn't, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I watch those videos and shit, and I think like, wow, like what a bunch of like delightful retards, you know, there are over there. Sorry, R words there are over there.
Oh yeah, the R word.
But then I think about it and I'm like, those are the edited moments. You know what I mean? Those are the moments that person was able to edit and make funny. For every one of those, there's probably 150 just like dirty, sweaty, cigarette breath, rotten teeth motherfuckers coming up asking you for a buck or whatever. Just, you know, like, I don't know.
Hey man, you can spare some change for me?
Help a juggalo out, bro. Come on, man.
No, like, man, I don't. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, I wish.
They were on a Dr. Phil episode. He claimed to be a fan of theirs for a long time. He had no idea he was down with the clown till dead in the ground. He's not a fucking dude. That's bullshit. You can't trust a fucking word that comes out of Dr. Phil's gob, man. I'm just letting you know that guy would sell his mother's pussy up the river for a fucking buffalo nipple.
Now, what is this with this insane clown posse? Like, what is it, the ideology you believe? Do you believe? Here's some of the lyrics here. I want to read some here. You know, and of course, I'll find the most salacious lyrics and I'll read them like, no, would you actually believe in going to a Waffle House and stabbing someone to death?
Yeah.
The song right here says that. And then you have them kind of be like, you know, basically give them the defense of like, it's just art. It's music.
You even imagine Dr. Phil listening to fucking ICP on his own time. Like, no.
No, dude, on his yacht. Dude, Dr. Phil is a silver spoon motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, he's super rich. Like, would he listen to them to enrich himself? Like, yes, he would. But would dude, Dr. Phil? I'd imagine if like what he actually listens to, like he seems like he listened to like some like country music or some shit, dude, or like maybe some old time rock and roll, like maybe some like 60s rock or some shit.
Yeah.
Like he's not fucking bumping no ICP.
Paul, rewatch your hilarious analysis of vape off competitions you did on Ideology sometime back. Might be time for a part 2, dude. Those fucking things. I can't even believe
Vape Nation, bro.
Yeah, like vape conferences and stuff. And then those fucking guys too. It's just like, I remember there was some drama about one because like they rented out some big venue, right? Some big arena. And then the arena.
Did they really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they do these for vapes. Yeah. No, they do this all the time. But there was one controversy where like they rented some arena, and then the owners of the arena were like, "Hey, you guys got to get the fuck out of here because everybody's vaping." You know what I mean? And like they're like, "Oh, it just disappears into the air." Like, no, it doesn't, dude. It like it's water vapor with a bunch of chemicals and flavorings and sticky bullshit in it. If you've got like 20,000 people on the convention floor of a big fucking arena or some shit.
Oh man, everyone must be coated in glycerin and vegetable oil and shit, dude.
Not only everyone, but like all the fucking chairs, all the pipes, that shit just settles down like a rain in the fucking rainforest. You know what I mean? Just like root beer and pumpkin pie and double bubble berry smelling shit all over everything. That's I can't believe people like that's part of their fucking like identity is I vape. What?
I mean, if you vape, whatever. I mean, good for you. I mean, or whatever. I don't really give a shit if someone vapes or not. But like to make it like, yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of like, it's like if you're an ICP fan. We're just talking about that a second ago. It's like that's like part of your identity. Like, fine, it can be, but I don't know. I don't think I want to be defined by just something like especially vaping, because it's almost like I'm addicted to this. So, hey, my addiction. It's like no one. Like, I don't know. Back in the day, I guess people went around like bumping that they were a smoker. Like, I smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like, but I don't know, man. Like, just broadcasting your addiction to everybody. Like, man, I'm hopeless, Like, I know
they do these horrible, like inadvisable contests too, where it's like, who can blow the biggest vape cloud? And it's like, so you guys are gonna blow your fucking lungs out with this shit. Some of the vape clouds that these dudes puke up out of their lungs, you wouldn't fucking believe it, Scotty. Let me see if I can find one. We got it like now.
Yeah, we gotta look at one now.
Yeah, we'll start the day. Vape cloud competition. You would not fucking believe it, dude. These guys look like Krakatoa fucking erupting. You know what I mean?
I remember like going to like I think it was like Disneyland. I was at a Disneyland like when we did our last DFF fucking I'm going back years. DFF fucking meetup. And like, dude, like before they banned it, I mean, I'm talking, there were like fucking the clouds you had to walk through were like insane. Like, I see these guys do this, like, I'm like, how do you even have fucking lungs, dude?
It's out of control.
Like, how do you I don't even know like how you would do that shit.
Yeah, because I never I vaped for quite some time, and I never was able. I could rip a cloud or whatever, but I never like came anywhere close. Like, I can't even imagine that much shit in my lungs.
I call those dragon clouds, dude, because that's what it looked like. It's like, you remember like Excalibur when it's like she's the sorceress is like she's creating that mist and shit from let your lusts carry you. It's like people would blow shit like that.
Yeah, like Dracula is visiting Mina. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, comes in the window.
Whoa. The fuck is this, man? It looks like the fog's rolling in over a fucking Scottish Highland or whatever. You're like, what the fuck? Can you get a suey? A suey. There you go.
Suey.
Have you guys seen any of the clips of the Daryl Brooks trial? Very funny stuff. I have not. No.
I think I've seen a couple. Yeah.
I love Scotty's voices, the sound that he makes when it sounds like he's thrusting or squishing something. Yeah, Scotty does have a pretty fucking based squish.
Yeah, I have a good squelch.
So before we well, hold on. You guys are being very generous today. I'm pretty sure we're close to or already exceeded the first goal for tonight.
Yeah, we gotta show you guys our goals and shit, guys. We're so absent-minded. But
yep. So I'll pull those up here.
Some people's identities are tied around constantly popping out kids, so vaping culture isn't so sad if you think about it. Oh yeah, there's much worse shit to have an identity surrounding. Yeah, I agree with you. Popping out kids, like that one's kind of like,
I just don't fully understand it. You know what I mean? I guess what you do whatever you want. I don't think, you know, anybody should stop them or whatever, but
maybe. I don't know. The planet might disagree, but yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, like, we have no fair means as shaved apes of really stopping that, you know. So,
all right. So here's the GOALZ. $100, which I'm gonna go ahead and say we've already met it. If we haven't, we're real super close.
yeah, I'll keep track of this shit. Let me go
Sure.
look.
Yeah, Scotty's gonna keep the tally. Which chonky animal are you? So we're gonna take a quiz.
Thick animal.
Find out which chonky animal we are. That one looks like it's already bought and paid for.
We're at
$250.
54. We're at 54.
We're at 54.
Yeah, we're 54.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I was a little overzealous, but
I haven't checked Streamlabs. I know you guys don't do that as much, which I don't blame you because I mean, like, look, you know, we can't show it for some reason. StreamYard doesn't have that functionality. Which fucking come on, StreamYard, get it.
Is TJ dead? No, he's alive. He did shit his pants though. So
yeah, and he's gonna admit it. He's gonna finally admit the 24-hour show. He shit his pants. Look to his channel.
Yep. For $250, we're gonna take a look at some bizarre 90s video game ads, and there were some very, very strange ones. Video games were still in this weird kind of like pseudo unregulated by public opinion space in the 90s, where it's like it was only really like nerds and little kids that were into it. Parents were all boomers.
Yeah,
so it was like they didn't understand what was going on.
Man, that's like always the best age of shit, dude. I'm telling you, it's like before corporations have really truly caught on, parents and everyone else. Like as soon as like it's like Facebook, everyone loved Facebook, but then old people figured it out, and it's like, oh fuck, it's done.
Yep. $500. We're gonna take a look at, and this is, you know, kind of a tradition around here. We're gonna look at some crazy public freakouts. We got quite a few.
Yeah, pull the bunch.
And then $750. We got if you guys want to meet that fucking stretch goal, we'll watch a Jordan Peterson video about his vision for conservatives, okay? But other than that. Fuck watching Jordan Peterson. Man, TJ didn't poop himself, he just never wipes. Good point. I mean, I think it's both. Is Paul dead? Why isn't he in the shows anymore? Also, I have a stomach virus, so I shat my britches today while at work. Well, at least you've got an excuse.
And at least you admitted it. You know, like much respect for you admitting that. Because I mean, like, look, you're a better person than TJ. TJ's like, oh, I can't do it, guys. I didn't do it. I mean, we've timed it down to a minute. TJ definitely did it. His bedroom was close by. He ran out after unleashing a disgusting fart.
He did.
And it's just obvious. Like, it's obvious to everyone there. Like, the room just like guys, look. Imagine you're in a room with a bunch of neckbeards. They're tired. They're sweaty. They've been streaming for hours on end. There's sweat going everywhere. There's nasty food around. There's like every smell imaginable. And over all those smells, just a note of shit arose. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll promise you guys something, okay? If I ever drop a load in my pants, I'll just come clean about it. You know what I mean? I'll just admit. I will just say, look, guys, I gotta fucking go real quick because I just dropped a fucking load in my pants. I would not like deny you guys the joy that I know that you would get from knowing that I dropped a load in my pants.
Dude, I would love it.
I mean, everybody would. It would be, you know, it'd be great, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, here you go.
TJ's britches are never without a chalky baba. Yep. All right. Well, let's start today out watching this vape competition here. It's like a highlight reel, I guess. The biggest clouds.
DF has the best way to spend my birthday. Looking forward to this one, fellas. Thank you, jar of piss. It looks like a jar of OJ to me, or a glass of OJ. But
yeah, you really like, if that is what your piss looks like, you really need to like drink more water.
Yeah, dude. Because
that's cloudy and not even yellow; it's orange.
And happy birthday too.
Happy birthday to you, jar of piss. You've been around for a while. Let's take a look at this vape.
I'm excited.
Shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute this.
We're about to
you don't need to hear the vape clouds, you know.
A lot of sponsors though. Fuck.
Yeah,
I can't tell them.
I mean, look, like it's a legit like con, you know. They
It
got the
is,
whole-
yeah. I mean,
the whole-
I'll number one, I'll give him that. You know, we have to
look
give
at
him
this
that.
shit though. Look at him.
Oh fuck!
Like I told you, dude, it looks like fucking. It looks like Krakatoa. It looks like is that fucking Greek town that just got buried?
Oh, Pompeii.
Yeah, it looks like Pompeii, man.
The ruins of the vape comp.
I mean, what the fuck? Let's hold on. I gotta hear this interview with this
we believe
vapester.
this is where they'd stand in this arena and they would fight over who could vape more. It's like, oh yeah, look at this place. Oh my god.
Vape Summit, CloudCon.
Yeah, did you see like, oh my god,
Yeah,
look how
look-
gross
look at
the
the
air
fucking-
is.
Yeah, look at
this,
oh,
man. Who's gonna want to walk around in that, man? It's like a tropical jungle, but it's like tropical fruit flavored because it was nestled down and deep in somebody's lungs, you know? It's like what the fuck?
And it's all intermingling, dude. It's almost like they have a softbox light going on. It's like, oh, it's ethereal.
Yeah,
We're in heaven.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know. It looks like Glinda the Good Witch is about to appear or some shit. It is fucked up.
Of the Vape Summit Cloud Comp. How do you feel about winning?
I feel really stoked.
Look at him. He's got the strap, dude. He's got the fucking strap. I mean, look, it's right there. He is the vape VC cloud champion.
You won the Vape Cloud Comp. How do you feel? Oh, I'm really stoked. Of course you are. I mean, come on. You fucking blew the biggest cloud.
How do they determine it?
I mean, I think it's voted on by the audience. Like the audience will like it's 1 against 1, and whoever the audience feels blew the biggest cloud, you know, gets to go on to the next round robin or whatever.
The awesome thing about going to this con though is that you could definitely smoke a ton of weed there and no one would ever know.
Oh yeah.
Like how, I mean, because there's so much other shit going on and so many different flavors of like fucking vape juice being fucking burned. Like you could be high as a kite.
Yep. Notice he's not the biggest guy with the biggest lungs. It's technique. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of shit that goes into it. Like you build your own coils when you vape. You can make some coils that burn really hot, and so they're chucking a whole lot of fucking vapor into your lungs and shit. And so yeah, they can tweak their rigs to, you know, produce the maximal amount of smoke. And then there's a whole, you know, technique to doing it probably. Look at this Viking motherfucker that's there, man. The vape
He looks
Viking.
mad.
Yeah, he
looks
does.
mad.
Well, he's a
I think
Viking.
He wanted to enter and he's like, fucking this fucking little twerp.
Can't believe that fucking dork won the cloud competition.
I should have won.
TJ should fucking braid his beard, grow his mustache back and braid his beard and do Viking TJ.
Man, he's not gonna do it, man. You know, TJ, too fucking lazy.
Oh man.
You know, it's a big opportunity. I'm glad I could be here.
Oh shit!
For the competition.
Damn,
He got
he's
paid.
Yeah, he's splashing out, man. Dude, this guy's getting pussy tonight.
Oh yeah.
You know that this vape lord right here, because you look out into the audience, there's not a whole lot of females out there, but here's one over here on the left. There's a few around here. One of these ladies is gonna sit on his ding dong tonight just because he blew the biggest vape cloud.
Well, I mean, that's an achievement. I mean, like, look, you know, to the vape community standing out there, it's like that's something. Like they showed up to watch this shit. So, oh, see, look at that. Look, the dude right there. He's like with the hat on the left. He's real excited. He's like, yes. He's like, reach out to touch his God. He's like, you are God to me.
Yeah.
How can you inhale so much vapor and then expel it? Oh! I love you. It's like that's what, you know what people like. It's like every time me and Stevie talk about shit in life. It's like we have a conversation just about life, and it's like, Steve, you can do whatever you want, and this fucking proves it. If Stevie wanted to go out, wake up every day and it's like, Scotty, I shall be the greatest vape hitter in all of the lands.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
can fucking do it.
Dude, this guy looks like a Da Vinci painting or something, like the ecstasy of the vape lord or whatever.
We have a commission, like get someone that can paint in like Renaissance style. And it's like the triumph of vaping or some shit.
Straight up. Yeah, dude, he looks like Michelangelo would paint him on the Vape Teen Chapel ceiling or some shit, you know? Look at him, dude. He looks like he's
man.
you're so right. It looks like he's literally reaching out, hoping to touch the face of God.
That's how he looks. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's God. He's like Adam. He's like, oh, I reach out, touch my savior, my Lord.
Oh, Jesus.
I use 20 gauge royal wire, 6 wrap, shado cotton.
Oh yeah, see, I told you, man. He's
Oh,
got his
shit,
fucking.
yeah.
He's got his thing fucking set up to the max to fucking throw as much vapor as possible down his throat.
Inside of my Thundercloud Plus and a Sub-Ohm Innovation.
Oh shit!
Sub-Zero
Look at that
Mod.
thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's no fucking joke right
I
there.
know.
I'll tell you what, man. I vaped for a long time. I never vaped this hard, bro. This is next level vape right here.
I mean, yeah, but you vaped because you didn't want to smoke cigarettes, which is
Yeah.
a far different thing. Like you were actually doing it. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I don't do something, that I don't want to do.
Yeah, I wasn't getting into it as a competitive sport
Yeah.
or a social, comment or wanting to join a group or whatever. I was just like, I want to smoke these cigs anymore.
Oh, man, of
Exclusively
course.
drop here at Summit.
Do you have any sponsors that you like to thank?
I do.
Holy fuck, bro. Looks like the fucking space shuttle taking off. It's unreal that much and more fit
I'd like
this
to thank
dude's
Team
fucking
Cloud
lungs.
Zombies.
It's
Been there
still
from the
going.
Oh fuck, dude.
Lux Liquid, Royal, Vapor Dye, and big thanks to Sub-Ohm Innovation as well.
Okay, so this dude is like he's knee deep in the fucking vape community. Man.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
he's a
got like
professional
8
vaper.
sponsors.
Yeah, professional vapor, dude. Who knew?
Yeah,
Who
you
knew?
know what? If you put this guy out there and said this is a professional vapor, I'd be like, yeah, okay. He just looks like a vapor, dude. I mean, hey, and you know what? He's made a career out of it. That's the more beautiful thing to me. It's like see, like you vape plebs. That's what I take issue with because it's like you guys are halfway in. You're like, oh man, the vape nature, I love vaping. This guy, he loves vaping so much he made it his fucking job. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, it's not one of those jobs where it's like thankless, where it's like I turned my hobby into a job and now I hate it. It's like he just goes around vaping.
He's
It's like
vapes.
how you know what? Like he's gonna do it anyways. He's literally gonna do it anyways.
Yeah. I mean, like, you all you fucking little zoomers running around with your jewels and shit, man, you're on notice. Look at this
Fucking pathetic.
motherfucker right here, man. You ought to feel pathetic running
I
around
do.
with your little caramel macchiato jewel, taking little puffs on that on the sly so your teacher don't catch you. Look at this motherfucker, man. If you really had any balls at all, you'd blow one of them big vape clouds right in your fucking English teacher's face tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? Just blow one of them
some
big
balls, you know
old
what they do?
fucking missile launch looking vape clouds right down that bitch's face and see what she has to say about it.
Dude,
Know
if
what
I
I mean?
lost, you know what I do right now? I walk up this interview and I fucking blow a big ass vape cloud in their fucking faces. Be like, how about now, bitch?
Yep.
You fucking cheated. And they'd be like, I didn't cheat. I think you did. And even if you won legitimately, which he probably did. I mean, I assume he did.
Yeah. I mean,
I
don't
just saw him
think
make a huge rip. It's like there'd be questions, man. There'd be questions. Oh, I heard he cheated. Heard he
I mean,
fucking cheated, man. He fucking rigged his vape.
the proof's
fake.
in the pudding right here, man. You can't
Sponsors that
fake
you like to
that.
thank?
I do. I'd like to thank Team Cloud.
Jesus Christ.
That is a dragon fucking rip, dude.
It looks like Nagasaki. It's fucking
It is, dude. It's a mushroom cloud.
He ripped a mushroom cloud out of his lungs, man. I'm beyond impressed.
Yeah, we should do a thing where like we see it like we saw watching like an atom bomb test. We replace it with just his vape cloud. We'll edit that
Yeah.
in, and people are like, damn, those are pretty big fucking
might have
explosions.
said-
Actually, it's a vape cloud. Here's the original footage. Oh fuck, gotcha, bitch.
Show his vape cloud like blowing away a bunch of scrap warships and shit in an underwater
Probably
test.
would.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Holy fuck.
Big thanks to Sub-Ohm Innovation.
Yeah. We got you. You're. Oh my god, they're gonna show him rip another one.
Oh, dude, he looks fucking
Another
high as
angle.
kite, too.
Oh,
Oh fuck! No
Man,
wonder
that
he
was-
won.
that was thunderous, bro. I mean, now I'm starting to talk myself into going to one of these disgusting, sweaty things. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
Paul, you're one of those people. Have you see a con? You're just like, man, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta go to it. It's like, god damn it, Paul. Are you sure you should go to a con?
I've
Yeah,
only been
yeah,
to
for
one
sure.
con in my life, and I will tell you what, dude. Like, for it being a con about a subject I really don't care about, it was an anime con. I had a fucking blast at that con, dude.
Oh yeah, they're great. I mean,
It's-
most of those cons, especially big ones, there's just so much cool shit to see there. Like you would never even think to go see.
Yeah. Like, I loved the merch area because like it was an anime con, but a lot of the shit there was like pop culture shit there.
Oh yeah.
It was like cool. Like, it's not just limited to anime shit. And so I liked that. I liked the weird little, we went to a couple of little, like, I don't know what you call them, venues where somebody gives a talk or whatever
panel.
the fuck. Yeah, a panel. Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, we got to do that, and I don't know. I had a good time at it, so maybe I am just drawn to a con.
Hey, I mean, well, it's a big gathering. It's like, and the thing is, you can go to a con and just chill out and just be by yourself or with a group of people and talk to no one, or you can talk to a fucking 100 people. It's like, it's just totally the level of like interaction you want. Cause I went to the Star Trek convention, I think like 2015.
Yeah.
And some days I talked to some people about just whatever bullshit. Of course, they had actors there. They did panels. So of course you got to be like, on this season, on episode 6, season 3, when this happened, you got some of that shit.
That's something we should do and shoot some content, bro.
You want to go to the Star Trek con, Paul?
Yeah, we should all 3 of us go.
I'll go.
I love StarCon. Yeah. It's in Vegas, right?
It is in Vegas. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if we want to go next year, I mean,
I got no excuse, man. Vegas like 4 hours from me.
Yeah, we could all go. I mean, TJ's gonna want to go to Vegas anyways. I mean, it's the land of gambling.
That's all the incentive you need to get TJ there. It's in Vegas.
You want to go somewhere you can gamble? Yes.
All right. Well, hold on. Just to remind you guys before we get started here, $100. We're gonna take a quiz to find out which chonky animal we are. 250. Some bizarre 90s video game ads. 500 public freakouts. And the stretch goal tonight for 750 is Jordan Peterson and his Vision Conservatives. So
yeah, and we're 24 away from our first goal, guys. So we got 24, then we hit our first goal.
$24 away from reaching that first milestone. So you want to reward us for all the hours of content that we provide you. That's the way to do it. That or become a patron. Link down below.
Of course.
Let's start the news. Let's just jump in with both feet here, Scotty.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. Tulsa police sergeant put on restrictive duty after controversial comments during class. I haven't heard about those.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. So we can watch the Twitter below, but the comments are: nothing is more dangerous to America than a liberal white person.
What the fuck?
Yes. During a recent Citizen Police Academy, a Tulsa police sergeant said it was, quote, "It was fun to smoke anti-police protesters during the 2020 George Floyd protest." And I guess he used an ableist slur. It was beautiful.
Huh. So he just said the quiet part loud, basically.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can even hear what he's saying.
Sounds like it's horrible audio, but yeah.
Yeah, so.
Don't get caught up. That's what they want you to do. Yeah. Is this us versus them thing? Left versus right, white versus black. That's all crap. That's all crap. It is people who love this country and are willing to follow the law or make changes to the law against people who hate this country and want it to look more like the old Soviet Union or China. And some of those people, you know what?
I know I say this a lot when we cover the cops, but the only thing that really goes through my head when I hear something like this is I'm like, this guy's like in the bottom fucking 10 percentile in terms of intelligence, and he's running around with a gun telling me what to do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Like this guy can't even like parrot the shit he reads on Drudge Report and hears from fucking Tucker Carlson and shit properly. It just he clearly has no grasp of any of the things he's talking about.
Yeah, just yell like socialism bad or something, dude. Like socialism bad, communism bad.
This guy couldn't tell you 5 facts about the old Soviet Union, yet here he is invoking it. He couldn't tell you 5 facts about China, and yet here he is. Because who talks about that shit? You know, Trump.
It's right-wing talking points.
Right.
You know, oh, it's China. China's doing all this stuff. China bad. Remember how bad China is? They're bad. They ripped us off. They're bad. Soviet Union, they were bad too, and we beat them. So it's like, you know, you figure they'd want to bring the Soviet Union up as much as possible and be like, capitalism won, but they're too dumb to even do that.
Yep. Let's let him continue on his tirade here.
Maybe not, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was fun. When the anti-police riots started and they hit Tulsa, this is not Oregon or Seattle. You after target here, we will smoke your ass, right? And so I get to be undercover around a bunch of people at 71st Memorial, and when they start breaking windows, it was beautiful.
I mean, when you start breaking windows,
oh my God.
Yeah,
man.
dude, I love this shit. It's like, yeah, see, these criminals they couldn't help themselves. They just started breaking windows. Like, it was beautiful because you were embedded with them, and you're like, let's break some windows, and probably started breaking some windows. And it's like, oh yeah, they're breaking the law, guys. See,
So
not to say
yeah,
every single legitimate protester was not,
what
or actual
what
protester.
happened to this cop? Was he just given like a paid vacation? Yeah. Let's see. Chief Franklin was made aware of the comments. During this training session, the supervisor expressed several personal opinions that are not acceptable for any police officer to present as representatives of the department. Has initiated an investigation into the incident. The supervisor has been moved from their normal assignment and placed on administrative restrictive duty. So yeah, he's still getting paid. Chief Franklin says, I and the members of Tulsa Police Department stand committed to the citizens of Tulsa. We preserve to be a professional law enforcement agency in all aspects of our service. We take an oath as Tulsa police officers to respect the dignity and rights of every individual, and any violation of that oath will be closely scrutinized. Corrective action taken if appropriate. So yeah, I love that how he's acting like this guy's fucking opinion here is an anomaly in not just the Tulsa police, but every goddamn police department. Like, he's just such a fucking two-faced liar to like go like, oh, this is such a fringe opinion in the police department. I don't know how this guy slipped through, but we here at Tulsa police, none of us believe this bullshit. A guy doesn't develop this kind of opinion unless he's got a bunch of little fucking chimp jerking off idiot fucking cops with him. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting dressed for the fucking start of the day, and they're all fucking in their underwear in the goddamn fucking dressing room, jerking off about shit like this. Oh man, yeah, I hope they have another BLM protest, man. I can't wait to crack some fucking heads.
Well, dude, it's like their argument for the police shit almost always boils down to the bad apple argument. It's always like, if they're caught doing something bad, like dead to rights, it's always the same shit. Oh well, it's just a bad apple. It's just bad apple, and then we have to investigate. It's like, what's there to investigate?
Yeah, like, investigation over. I just listened to it. No cop should have that. It's not even about him having a controversial opinion. No cop should have that outlook on what he does. He should not look at himself as somebody that's there to spank bad kids that are acting up, or crackheads, or whatever the fuck. And the fact that you, as a police chief, probably hired this fucking idiot and continue to employ him and promote him. He was a supervisor, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous for him to pretend like he's blindsided by this shit. I guarantee you this fucking police captain's probably said shit worse. Probably hears worse every day at the fucking morning briefing and shit. It's ridiculous.
Oh, of course, man. Like, dude. But Paul, we got to be real here. Let's just be real for 1 second. Do you think these police have ever acted on these feelings? I think not.
Oh yeah. Even
They
the ones that
never-
feel this way, set it
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, this is their look, it's a personal opinion, but when he's on the streets patrolling, or supervising people on patrol, and he hears about an incident like this, he's gonna let me put aside my personal, deeply held beliefs and treat them fairly.
You'd never know he was a total fascist.
No.
He's out there and representing the good city of Tulsa.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Germany, you're about to get some weed, yeah? You're about to be able to smoke weed. How do you feel? So Germany,
Wunderbar.
finally joining the 21st century, is going to legalize cannabis for use for recreational purposes. So no bullshit medical shit.
Yeah, I don't
Germany.
know how... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't really know. As far as like, maybe someone in the chat can tell us like how abundant weed is in Germany. My understanding in Europe is not as abundant as it is here.
Yeah, I don't think it's like super rare or whatever, but I have heard that there's nowhere near the amount of availability of weed in Europe. Now that may be incorrect as an assumption. I don't know.
Yeah, that's basically hearsay. So
Right.
someone can correct us.
Oh yeah.
Nicked criminal, I guess.
Nicked criminal. Oh, I reached my article limit. Oh well.
No.
So yeah, here's a person holding a joint as activists gather to mark the. You can just read like the captions on a lot of these, and it gives you the whole story. To protest for legalization of marijuana in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, April 20th, 2022. This is German Health Minister Karl Lauterbach doing a news conference on legalizing cannabis on October 26th. So good for them.
Man, I can't believe someone in Europe, some people in Europe finally fucking figured this shit out. Like that, like that's one of the few things I actually felt like they were behind us on in Europe.
Yeah, and just like it happened with here too, I'm sure when all of the tax revenue and shit starts coming in for this, you're gonna see France do it, you're gonna see Great Britain do it. Like it's gonna be like the start of a mass legalization in Europe, probably.
Germany will do better than the Netherlands. We Dutchies have been stuck in the past for like 20 years. Yeah, it's like you guys have like a coffee shop thing where it's like a tolerance for weed. Like you can grow weed and like, you know, like that was kind of the vibe there. Was like it's like you can't just walk around smoking weed, which is like that's the point I want to get to. Like you just walk around and smoke weed like a cigarette. You know, it's up to you. If you want to fucking be a dumbass and be out in public super high and have to drive a car afterwards, like you face the same penalty if you're super like, you know, as someone who's drunk driving or something. But just treat it the same. Like, you know, if you want to walk around and just smoke a joint, shouldn't be a big deal.
Spain already legalized weed. They probably have the biggest weed culture in Europe. I did not know that.
Neither did I. Cool. I want to visit Spain then.
Yeah, time to go to Spain. Little dude in a little weed costume. So yeah, good for you, Krauts. You're getting some legal weed. I'm happy.
I mean, you guys did some bad stuff before, but you know what? Now you're doing some cool stuff. So good job, Germany.
Yeah, I mean, this is way better than that whole Nazi thing you were doing back in the 40s.
That wasn't so hot, but this is cool. Good.
Yeah, this is way better. Apple confirms the iPhone's getting USB 3. They should correct this to getting back USB-C. Yeah, because you know iPhones used to have USB ports. They just don't anymore.
They ran away from it. They're like, we have Lightning. It's like, dude, just give us USB-C. Like,
and by the way, dude, I will tell you, their fucking chargers at Apple, like they charge fine, but they are pieces of fucking shit. I've had to buy probably like 6 or 7 chargers for this fucking thing.
Oh shit, are you serious?
Yeah, the little fucking. Like, you know, because I'll plug it in and then I'll lay it next to me in the bed or whatever. When that gets jostled around there, it breaks on the inside. Dude, I've had to buy like 6 different fucking chargers. Well, it's ridiculous.
I'm glad because of the uniformity aspect of it, because a lot of devices are now just USB-C because you can do data transfer and you can, of course, you know, charge it. So it's like, it's great. It's a win-win. Then you only have to buy one charger because now it's like, oh, I have to have an Apple charger. And I have a bunch of devices now that are USB-C, so I have to have USB-C because most devices they put out now are like, I've noticed to use USB-C as the way to connect. Like it's just the industry standard. So except Apple, which is stuck with this fucking Lightning bullshit.
Oh, people are saying iPhones never had USB. I stand corrected. I'm not an iPhone, specialist or whatever. I'm not any kind of cell phone anything. So.
I thought that. I mean, I trust them. I could have sworn they did, but I mean, look, I'm also a stoner idiot, so don't.
Yeah, I thought they did too, but
yeah, so we did. But if they didn't, whatever. It's not a big deal.
When asked by the Wall Street Journal's Joanna Stern if the company would replace Lightning, Apple's senior VP of worldwide marketing, Greg Joswiak, answered by saying, "Obviously, we'll have to comply. We have no choice."
Oh, so basically the European Union mandated this for I guess all like the cellular devices or whatever.
Yeah.
So now they have no choice.
Right.
And of course, you know, they're not just gonna make another device for Europe. They're just gonna be like, whatever. Everyone gets USB-C. So yeah, Europe, thanks again. You guys are on a roll.
Yeah.
You know, Germany legalized weed. Now
this is good, man. I'm for this. Europeans are the ones dictating timing for European customers, he says. Currently, the law dictates that all mobile phones and tablets have to use USB-C by autumn 2024. So that's not even that long of a timetable either.
Oh.
That's another thing I like about this is like it seems fundamentally non-American. It's like if America did some shit like this, it wouldn't even start till like 2038 or some shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Giving ample time for it to be overturned or, amended.
No, they just pass rules there, and I guess they follow them. In America, it's like, no, we have to. Someone's going to challenge this. Hold on.
He refused to answer whether the company would include the connector on phones sold outside the EU. So we're not sure if they're just going to split their production and have USB-C compliant ones just in Europe, or if they're going to do it on all their phones.
Yeah, some iPads do. I think I bought a newer iPad, and it did actually have USB-C, so they can definitely do it. They're just choosing not to.
But he made it abundantly clear that Apple isn't happy about being legally coerced into making this switch. Before acknowledging that the company must comply with the law, Joswiak went into a long explanation about how Apple has historically preferred to go its own way and trust its engineers rather than being forced into adopting hardware standards by lawmakers. He cited examples of micro USB and hearing aid compliance in situations where Apple has been pushed to meet ill-considered requirements.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Like you just don't want people to be able to get a cheap replacement charger or a travel charger without coming to you.
That's all it is.
You don't want them to be able to just go down to the fucking 7-Eleven and buy a cheap ass USB-C charging cable and use it on your phones. It has nothing to do with innovation or any fucking thing.
Yeah, pay Apple $60 for a charger. Please, just
we innovated a way to charge people $60 for a charging cable.
Which is why, I mean, that's the whole reason Apple gets so much shit, for the fucking products they'd make. And I mean, I think the iPhone's a good product. I mean, I think Macs are good products, but the whole ecosystem that they've created is just like so price gougy. I mean, by design though, because it's basically saying like, we want this to be a symbol of people who are a little more affluent. And it's like, come on, everyone can fucking, I mean, for the most part. I mean, obviously there's people that can't afford that shit, but I would say most middle class people consider these things necessities now. And it's like, and it's not even going to fuck with Apple's profit. Oh, they can't sell more of these chargers. Like they don't. Well, you know what it was? Remember they stopped actually giving people chargers with the new iPhones.
Oh yeah,
this is a way to save money
separately. Yeah.
Well, they're like, oh, well, you should already have one. So you know what? The fucking funny thing is, they're gonna bunch of Apple loyalists that are gonna fucking buy special Apple USB-C. That's like, it's better, over-engineered. They'll come with some fucking sales pitch to get people to buy it from them. Still, like, obviously there'll be people who won't give a shit and they'll just fucking get the $5 one. You know, Apple's gonna have like a $60 one or 60 pound or euro one. They're gonna con people like, well, this is the only Apple official charger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they want people to be like going on their website and putting that new iPhone in the thing, and then seeing the little, hey, people also bought a charging cable or whatever, and just adding another fucking $50 onto their order because who cares, And obviously it's working.
Undeniably. I mean, Apple's a hugely profitable company.
Still, it's telling what didn't come up: a portless iPhone that relies solely on wireless charging, something that would be theoretically allowed, I guess. Joswiak didn't say the company is weighing its options or mention discussing ways to avoid putting a USB-C port on the iPhone. Instead, we got a redesigned, slightly winding answer that led to what seems like an inevitable conclusion. USB-C is a future port for connecting and charging your iPhone. So there you go.
So they bitched about having to do it, but they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're going to do it anyway.
It's really a bad idea and it's dumb and I don't like it, but law is the law. So, I mean, they could still challenge it in Europe too. But I think they're just realizing like it's just easier to fucking implement the standard than have some big legal battle.
Oh yeah. And this dude, like this guy actually did a good thing. This guy gave a big thing about, oh yeah, we're innovators. That's why we don't really want to do this, but we'll comply. And this guy was like, how about innovating, getting rid of the goddamn cord and making your device chargeable wirelessly? And he was like, oh, no. He hedged on that. So we're just going to slap a USB port in it. Well, fuck you, Mr. Innovation.
Yeah, some of the chat was like, Apple's not as innovative as they used to be, essentially. I mean, it was longer than that. It was a longer comment, but essentially that's pretty much true. I mean, like, they come up with some good products and stuff, but I don't think they're like a super innovative company at this point either. They're more of a mature, established brand.
Yeah. Can't watch live since I'm in Atlanta at a concert. Needs me a big old sloppy bucket of onion nuggets when I'm home. Bet the show's going great. It is. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, bro. And actually, with Roman, with your donation, if you're here and I don't know. We actually met our first goal. We're at 126 now. So
All right, cool beans.
chunky animals.
Yep, chunky animals. And here are the goals for those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the show. We're doing the chunky animals. So I'll just mark.
Yeah, we've already got. It's done.
Get rid of that one. So yeah, 250 bizarre 90s video game ads. We got a bunch of those. 500 public freakouts, and the big stretch goal for tonight, 750. Jordan Peterson's vision for conservatives. Vision. His vision, Scotty. His vision.
The vision of Jordan.
Kanye apparently no longer a billionaire. He lost his billionaire status because Adidas cut ties with him.
Oh shit, dude!
Crazy anti-Semitic shit he was doing on Twitter. Kanye West no longer a billionaire, according to Forbes. The publication reported that on October 25th that the rapper lost his spot on its list of billionaires after being dropped by Adidas for his string anti-Semitic rhetoric.
Oh, dude, they're referencing that clip that he did on the Drink Champs podcast. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, Kanye, don't say it. Oh, don't say it.
I watched last night. Like I was just kind of sitting and pulling stories for this and shit, and I had he did an interview with what's that fucking idiot's name? That Brit that we kicked out of America because he sucked and sent him back.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan, yeah. Did like an hour and 40-minute interview with Piers Morgan.
Oh no. Oh no, why?
Is Vladimir Putin really dying of cancer? Is he really as psychopathic as people seem to believe? I don't know, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say he's pretty fucking ruthless, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, psychopathic. I'm not a diagnostician, but I wouldn't be shocked. And the cancer thing too, I wouldn't be shocked either way. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just something one of his political opponents made up to make him look weak, or if it's actually happening and he's covering it up. I don't know. I really don't know. According to the financial magazine Forbes, Ye's multi-year partnership with Adidas was valued at $1.5 billion. And without it, he's reportedly worth just $400 million.
Oh, just $400 million.
Only $400 million.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna give a shit. I mean, if he's if he's gonna go out and say the things he's gonna say, I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. Like financially, he's still gonna be fine. So I mean, yeah, is he as rich as he used to be? No, of course not. Like the partnership was obviously super lucrative for everybody involved, but at the same time, I mean, Adidas especially is going to be sensitive because they're a German company. A lot of mentions of Germany on this episode for some reason.
Oh yeah, the Germans are in the news.
Yeah,
today.
but like, yeah, anything anti-Semitic, like they're not as a brand going to touch that. They're going to be like, nope, like we're good. You can say whatever you want, but we're not going to be backing you. And you know, it's really going to hurt them because dude, they've like I've bought some shoes from them in the past, so like they were like always hitting me up like, here's Yeezy's new shoes. You want to buy them? Of course, they're like $1,200 or some shit, or like $500 or something. Like, no, but they look cool. But like, fuck no. So they really leaned in as that was a huge driver of revenue for them. So definitely not a light decision or taken lightly, at least.
I guess Kanye clapped back and said it's not $1 billion. It's 3.3 billion since nobody at Forbes knows how to count.
Oh shit.
Damn. What remains of Kanye's financial empire in the wake of losing his Adidas deal stems from real estate, cash, his music catalog, and a 5% stake in ex-wife Kim Kardashian's shapewear firm, Skims. So, other brands who've ceased working with Ye over his anti-Semitic diatribes include Balenciaga, production company MRC, Creative Assets Agency. Gap is also removing Yeezys from their shelves, I guess.
Even the Gap?
Yeah, the Gap, man.
Oh man, not the Gap.
So yeah, Kanye, you know, is running his mouth and is getting him in trouble. I listened to like I said, I listened to that Piers Morgan interview, and they go into it extensively, this whole anti-Jewish shit that he said on the podcast and the shit that he tweeted. They got him banned temporarily from Twitter or whatever. And he's off on Planet X with this shit, dude. He's literally like, he can't defend his position, even against Piers Morgan. Like, Piers Morgan was asking basic questions, and Kanye kept acting like he was being interrupted rather than just answer. You know what I mean? Just answer the question.
It's just like anytime I've seen anything with Kanye, and it's in like an environment that's not like a press thing, was like, especially then, like I think it was a meeting like Dave Chappelle or something, and you can just see like the look on everyone's face when they're around him. It's like you could just tell he's a guy that people have to act different around. Like there's a certain way of interacting with him, and there's obviously just some like, obviously I can't diagnose him, but like there's some mental illness going on there. There's just some uncontrolled mental illness, and like, you know, obviously Kanye's done some brilliant shit in his life, and he's made a lot of money and he's had a lot of success, but at the same time, like that can fuel that stuff. That can fuel all kinds of stuff that's going on with him mentally, because when you have that level of just wealth, like you'll always be enabled. It's like the founder of Zappos. You ever heard that with a guy? Like he basically like he would inhale shit. He was like, so like he would just inhale.
Oh yeah.
And he just did it to death. Like, yeah, he was like a huffer, and he huffed basically to death because he had so much money. And I mean, people don't give a shit. You can basically, as long as you're like a walking corpse to give them more money, someone's going to be like, I have no moral problem with this. It's not me making them do it.
Oh yeah. So, you know, Kanye is far from in the type of trouble this article is trying to paint it out to be. He'll be fine. People are like, he's said some stupid shit before, and it blows over. This will blow over too. But yeah, somebody said that like most of his interviews are pretty unintelligible. I agree. I mean, the guy is not great at like extemporaneously conveying a message. Like, I'm sure that there's something that would resemble at least a defensible opinion buried deep down in Kanye, but what comes out of his mouth is just gibberish, and quite a bit, like when it comes to this topic especially, quite a bit of ignorance too.
Yeah, for sure.
Is Kanye a genius? I mean, I don't know. That word is almost so fucking used and abused that I don't even really think it needs to be used anymore. But yeah, I guess, you know, like musically, it would be hard for you to argue against that. Like, he's the biggest musical star of this generation. Nobody has made as much money as he has. Nobody has as many platinum albums as he does, not in the current crop of people. You know what I mean? He's at the top of that game.
Yeah.
So he's definitely like a musical and creative genius.
Other opinions, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. This is a crazy super chat. There are anarchists in the forest of Atlanta burning down construction equipment and protecting hundreds of acres of trees to run a massive urban warfare cop training ground. Okay.
Cool.
I have no idea if that's true or not.
Based.
Not to doubt you. I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Why is he mad at Jews when they gave him billions? Because he probably feels like he was owed more billions. I mean, that's exactly what it is. He feels like that every deal that he ever signed in his early career was horribly exploitative, and that all these companies owe him so much more money than they've given him. And he's probably right about that. I mean, historically, artists are treated shittily, especially up and coming artists, like new artists are often signed into horribly exploitative deals. And so I don't doubt that he was, signed to a number of exploitative deals in his early career. What I doubt is that it had anything to do with the religion or ethnicity of any of the people that signed him to those deals. You know, like that's where I take exception with what he's saying. Like, I think he can make this critique without pulling the Jewish shit, you know.
There's actually like a really good thing about that on the Joe Rogan Experience, where Billy Corgan is talking about the music industry and how they fuck people over. You know, how like there's like all these different tricks. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, when you get lawyers involved and stuff like that, and you have people basically writing contracts because because most people, when they start off, they're desperate for that fame and that attention and to make their mark. So they'll essentially sign whatever fucking deal they have to sign. And like you said, they're one-sided. Most contracts, if you're signing it and they're putting up any money, they're making sure that they're fucking you over. And I mean, I'm sure Kanye did get fucked. But I
Paul
think
thinks he's oh so smart. What's wrong, dude? Am I using too many multisyllabic words for you? Do I need to dumb it down? Kanye says stupid thing about you. He canceled. There you go, Adam Rubinson. I brought it down to your fucking level. Thanks for your buck.
thanks for your pound.
Or whatever the fuck that is. Yeah. Ye
Oh,
showed
God.
up unannounced to Skechers HQ to offer them the rights to Yeezys. They threw him out immediately. The owner of Skechers is also Jewish. Yeah, I mean, well, as are a lot of business people. You know what I mean? So it's definitely not a group of people that I would want to unduly piss off for any reason that amounted to like anti-Semitism and shit.
No,
Like, why would
definitely not.
you risk doing that to make a point, whatever his point is? Which I said,
I don't know.
I watched that fucking hour and 40 minutes, and I really don't think he ever got to a point with Piers Morgan. Piers was never able to nail him down on anything that seemed like a solid defensible opinion. So
It's hard to know where something like that's coming from, to be honest with you.
Kanye's a great producer, not my favorite, but he's good. Yeah, I mean, he's multi-talented. He's like I said, one of the biggest rap star of this generation. He's like a fashion mogul. I remember when he came out with Yeezy, his brand Yeezy, which makes shoes and coats and clothes and high-end fashion kind of shit. People made fun of him endlessly, and that ended up being just like a huge business.
Oh God,
So,
yeah.
and it takes some acumen to come up with shit like that. So multi-talented guy, but I think just like a really troubled guy as well, unfortunately.
Not surprising though. I mean, oftentimes that level of like achievement and greatness definitely comes with being a more eccentric personality and just seeking more novel experiences and just being outside of the mold. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not uncommon for that to happen.
Yeah. Paul might have little to no education, but he's strong common sense and he's wise. Well, look, the way I look at it, I got about 2 years worth of college level past college level training, just passing high school. Because from my experience in the times that I went to college and spent a semester or two, I was doing the same shit I was doing in high school. I was literally reading the same books, doing the same math problems, writing the same essays as I did in the last 3 years of my high school education. So I got half a college education. How's that? Putin watches first Russian nuclear drill since the invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine.
Whoa! Oh shit, Paul.
Ooh.
The Ukraine.
Pardon me. Excuse me.
A portent of things to come.
Little Freudian slip there. The Ukraine. So yeah, just as I'll read a little bit of this, but this is basically just more we're slipping closer and closer to nuclear war news. Vladimir Putin has overseen annual exercises by Russia's strategic nuclear forces at a time of heightened tensions with the West over his 8-month-long war in Ukraine. Yeah, I remember reading too. I didn't pull it for this because I didn't want to just soak it in Russia-Ukraine shit.
Of course.
But there was I guess like Ukraine's defense minister said that they'd uncovered some kind of plot in Ukraine to set off a dirty bomb and then blame it on Russia. So either that could be true. Like I wouldn't be shocked if that was absolutely 100% true. And I also wouldn't be shocked if it was Russia coming out ahead of it so that they can use that as a pretext to defend themselves after they set off a nuke or a dirty bomb or something. So,
well, I mean, I think that obviously Russia is looking at their position in the world and like, oh shit, we're definitely slipping. And we don't want anyone to think we're weak because I think everyone just assumed Russia was going to invade and just steamroll the Ukraine. And that was just going to be it. It was going to be, I mean, wherever you thought about it, it was like, oh, those poor motherfuckers because like it's Russia. And that didn't pan out and didn't play out. Obviously, Ukraine's had a ton of outside help. I mean, Russia to some degree too. But I just think it was just like now they're like, they don't want to look weak. So it's like, hey, look, we also have this. We got nukes. We got hypersonic missiles. Don't mess with us. Don't think about invading Russia. Don't fuck with Russia. That's it's a cornered beast right now. And obviously that's with that kind of power it has. I mean, yeah, like they're saying, like, if anyone tries to invade us, we're just going to nuke them.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's great. So no, I mean, we had an episode about that. We kind of talked about the geopolitics of like, well, would anyone really want to do a nuke? Because isn't it kind of like, especially any major country, any of the like, China or the US or Russia or, whatever, like if they launch nukes, I mean, whatever their enemy is going to launch nukes too. But then you just see like stuff like this where it's like, well, what if someone, the country gets destabilized enough and like someone just nukes it? They're like, well, fuck them. We'll just nuke them. Like, what are they going to do? They're not going to want to nuke us back because of the damage.
Right. I mean, I don't know, just the fact that there are so many of these little nuclear micro conflicts going on. Like Russia, Ukraine is one thing, but then you've got India and Pakistan, you've got India and China who are at each other's throats, both nuclear nations. So it's just, it's not a good thing.
Taiwan and China, you have the US say, no, we're going to back Taiwan, and Japan as well. I mean, I don't think Japan has nukes, but we have like a defense treaty with them. So it's like, if China decides to invade any of these countries, like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just kind of like, it's yet again that game of chess where it's like, who's going to fucking blink first? Who's going to do this shit first? And obviously Russia is relying on that because I guess they're afraid of looking weak. But I mean, I think this just betrays how weak they really are. I mean, just the videos coming out of the country, like they're having a really hard time recruiting people just to have this military campaign have any success and just even keeping up a front, which is what you wouldn't really even expect. It's Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know they've had a population decline, but you figure they have enough, like, if they wanted to do this, they like, see, to me, it's like, if you're going to invade another country, like, you figure like they're preparing, like Germans in World War II, it's like, they're building up, like getting real strong. And it's like, anyone that's worried about it, it's like, hey, you guys are kind of building up over there. Oh no need to worry. It's like, you figure like you're doing that shit, like you're trying to, project strength, but we're just doing this like it's a drill. And then you just invade. And it's like, it's sudden and it's swift. And it's overwhelming, and you just roll over and like Ukraine's ours now. Like that's the kind of shit you're expecting, not like this slow roll of like reluctant people. Like, oh, we're not going to give you any equipment or anything, but go ahead. Here's a gun, and there's the Ukraine. It's that way.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons it didn't go as fast as people assumed it would is because Russia didn't deploy its air force. It like decided on this like ground war, which I mean that's always going to be a mud and blood kind of slog of a fight. Yeah, I saw another story too that I didn't pull that talked about a number of polls have come out, and the like American opinion worm has turned on Russia Ukraine. It's now like more Americans support like immediate diplomacy and less, no more fucking money and sending weapons over there, which I hate to toot my own horn, but it's something I was saying at the very beginning of this. I was like, I'm going to watch the entirety of America go from like, oh my God, we support Ukraine, Slava Ukraine, fucking blah, 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 to going, oh man, why are we sending billions of dollars over there when we have horrible problems here that need addressing? Because that's what always happens with these wars. In my experience in these military conflicts and shit, when they first start, there's a bunch of like flag waving, democracy loving shit, but when it slogs on for 8 months and the death toll rises and the cost goes fucking astronomically over the top, people just get sick of it. But it's too late. It's like nobody ever learns. It's like you get sick of it 8, 9, 10 months into it, not at the very fucking beginning when you saw it coming. So
is it even the cost though? I think it's just the way that propaganda works and the way it's easy to manipulate people. I think if you show people like the right things in the right country, in the right context, that you can make people feel like, yeah, we have to do it. And then you can just have it turn. You can say, you know what, actually, we need to solve the problem there. Like, I just think the public's unwilling to acknowledge that it's easy to be manipulated by giant corporations and by media conglomerates that can make enough people feel a certain way because they feel like everyone has that position.
Right.
Like you get bombarded with news articles and stories about like, oh, these poor people. Oh my God, look what they're doing. But I mean, if we were another country that had a negative view of the Ukraine, we would have seen opposite stuff like to just, good on Russia. Those people in the Ukraine are horrible. they're terrible people. And we cheer on Russia's victory and we need to give aid to Russia. You know, I mean, like, it's just, I think I think people are unwilling to acknowledge how easy it is to manipulate them. And I'm not saying this as someone who's like, oh, they can't get me. It's like they can get anybody. They can
I mean,
fool
yeah,
anybody.
dude, I used to be subject to this type of shit. I was on the same fucking bandwagon of ebbing and flowing support for war and shit. And honestly, it was watching these wars, being told one thing and then having them slog on and having the cost overruns and just the crazy fucking death.
Oh, the
tolls and
prosecuting of the
bullshit.
war.
Right.
Profiteering.
I watched that enough times to where I developed a principled and strong anti-war stance, and that's where I stand, man. That's where I stand.
Well,
America's involvement in war should be the absolute single last ditch effort, and it should be demonstrable that, like America's our safety and our interests are directly at play. Otherwise, I don't trust America to do the right fucking thing. I don't trust America not to profiteer. I don't trust America not to support strong men and arm militias and all the shit that we do every time we fucking support one of these countries in their civil war, which is what this basically is. Like, that's another thing that bugs me about this is like people are acting like Ukraine has existed since the dawn of fucking man or some shit. Like, no, Ukraine was fully well and proper part of fucking Russia up until about 20 years ago. So let's not act like this is some sort of long established democratic republic that like Russia's just deciding we're going to take your shit. This is a civil war. This is like they're separatists from the former USSR in the eyes of Russians. It's just bullshit to stick your dick in that beehive, in my opinion.
It's just crazy to me that the U.S. leaves Afghanistan. I mean, well, at least officially, we officially left. We're still there. But if you go beyond that, it's like, so we end this major conflict, then here's another major conflict popping up, and it's like it always seems to happen. So it's either like our attention on conflicts changes, or they're just happening everywhere all the time. And I think the answer is like they just happen all the time. But which one are we focused on currently? Oh, we're focused on this one. Right. This is the battle we're fighting over here. Like, well, it's not us directly, but kind of us, but not us. You get it? Like, it's like, no, not really. I don't understand.
Yeah, I love this. I love me giving my opinion about this means I'm simping for Putin. I have not said that I agree with Putin's actions in fucking sending in.
He's against war. He's not.
I'm anti-war. That means I'm against Putin too. I don't think Putin should be escalating the war, and I don't think America should be escalating the war. People are so fucking idiotic when it comes to this shit. It's why I don't talk about it ever. It's why, like, when these fucking stories come up, I just want to move on.
This people so following tankies. I don't know.
I'm sick. I'm literally sick of fucking having people reinterpret my very clear statements and shit. So you fuck off with it.
Yeah. I don't know how to teach it. Maybe TJ's pro-war, which I wouldn't even shock me if he was, but I am with Paul. Like, I'm anti-war. It's a horrible act.
Shit, Scotty just admitted he's like, but you know what the funny thing is? You won't get a single ounce of shit. It'll be me that
I don't know why, like, but no, war is horrible. It's horrible, and honestly, all it does is cause untold suffering for people who are just pawns to basically the elite. And that's
I love these idiots too. Paul being completely illiterate on the history of Ukraine is not surprising, as if you're any better. Like, as if you are just some kind of like
scholar.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, my fucking hobby back in high school was Ukrainian history.
I don't know shit
fucking
about
break,
history.
dude. Because you perused the fucking wiki. You're some kind of fucking diplomatic expert on Ukraine. Suck my dick.
Yeah, you're the Paul. How dare you say it to our ambassador to the Ukraine? Who knows its rich history? I don't know shit about the Ukraine. I'm not gonna fucking lie for a second.
You can't like even hold the position that they want you to hold. Like, they want you to say like, oh, Russia's bad. Yeah, Russia's bad. Russia should not be militarily invading its neighbors. That doesn't mean that I agree that America needs to be directly involved. I don't think America needs to be directly involved in that. I don't think our tax money needs to be dropped willy-nilly all over fucking Ukraine. And I think that you're going to see, after this fucking conflict is over, the legacy of those weapons in Ukraine is going to be more death for people in Ukraine, more fucking despotism in Ukraine, more corruption in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, I know they're corrupt as fuck, dude. I mean, the U.S. revealed how corrupt they are with all that shit with Hunter Biden and fucking Joe Biden, dude, and like basically putting his son on the fucking board of a giant Ukrainian gas company. You know what I mean? Like just shit like that. So I know the Ukraine was corrupt as fuck, but before that, I didn't know shit. Didn't really know fuck all about them, and I'm not even gonna fucking pretend like I do. That's why I agree with you. It's like talk about geopolitical shit. It's like, dude, I know enough to know something, but not enough to not be a fucking idiot about it. Let's put it like that. That's how much I know personally about this shit. You know,
I may not be some kind of fucking expert in the history of Russia or Ukraine.
I know war is bad, guys. It's not. I don't mean to be a fucking genius to know that. Like, bunch of fucking people dying and suffering. Like, you know, we can talk about all the debate shit here, but there's actually people being killed and suffering and being tortured. That's what I'm against. So unless you're in favor of that,
these
fuck
fucking
you.
chicken hawks would never be caught anywhere near the front line of a goddamn fucking.
I don't want to
war.
be on the front line of one. That's why that's why I would never want it.
They're happy to cheerlead from their comfy little fucking lazy boy chair and shit over here in America. But when it comes to actually getting down in the fucking dirt, they would never fucking do it. And they know in their hearts that they're fucking cowards. And it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand how people could call themselves leftists and then support every goddamn fucking imperial action that America does. Anytime America's like saber rattling against China bad. Every time America's saber rattling against Russia bad. It's just like, what's the point? What's the point of taking a principled stand on anything if your fucking stand is like, I'm just gonna fucking ride the wave or whatever the politicians tell me? It's like, you want to talk about illiteracy? I may be fucking illiterate about the history of Ukraine. You're illiterate about the history of American fucking interventions around the world. I'm not. I've lived through a lot of them, fuckers.
Yeah, I'm not
Paul's
gonna
on
fight with
Putin's side. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I know
Why
some
would
of you
Paul
are
be on
probably fucking
Putin's
trolling
side?
and shit, but it's just ridiculous.
Why would he be? He's not on fucking Putin's side. That's ridiculous. Like, what he's saying is he's anti-war. Like, I don't understand that. It's like, like he's opposed to all war.
Yes.
It does not matter what the war is. It is like he's even said it. Like, it would have to be completely justifiable. And just because Paul has that standard does not mean, like, look, Paul's standard, I think, is indicative of a lot of people. But obviously, there's a lot of people that are opposed that. They're like, you know, the Ukraine needs to defend itself. And I understand that as well. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Like, if someone's attacking me and I'm gonna fight back, I probably would. Yeah, if it's life or death.
Kale,
sure.
Was Ukraine part of the USSR? Yes or no?
I believe it was.
Was
yeah.
Ukraine part of the United Soviet Socialist Republic? Yes or no? I want you to answer, and your answer will determine whether or not I fucking ban your stupid ass.
Paul, yeah, actually, you know what,
So
guys? We have to
I'm
admit
actually going to put this motherfucker on pause, and I'm going to wait for you to say, yes, it was.
Paul,
and then
but tell the truth.
Limp off with your tail between your fucking legs, dumbass.
But yeah, Paul is definitely on Putin's payroll. We can't lie about that one. Dude, if we were on Russia's payroll, we'd be doing this show right now. We'd be living in our fucking mansion on the Black Sea or some shit, dude. Like, you know, we'd be fucking enjoying life. Like, I'm not Steven Seagal, dude. I'm not getting paid to be Putin's fucking like you know, fucking personal like D-list celebrity. That's like, Russia's actually not bad, you know. Like, I mean, if I'm gonna be a D-list celebrity, fucking shilling for a country, I'm gonna at least be getting the benefits of that. Come on now. Like,
yeah,
Paul...
if there's a fucking mod present, just go back and ban that. I don't want to waste my fucking time to it. Go back and ban fucking Kale or whatever the fuck. Yeah, same. Okay, well, at least he answered. So shut the fuck up then. Me referring to what's going on as a civil war is not that far of a stretch of the fucking true situation now, is it? It would be like if Texas decided to secede from the Union. There was a military conflict between the remaining United States and fucking Texas. You know, you would quantify that even 20, 30 years on as at least a pseudo fucking civil war. Period.
Yeah. I mean, close to one at least. I mean, yeah, if they actually did like succeeded from the U.S. and did all that, yeah.
So I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm done.
Texas. Yes, Texas.
Yes.
The Republic of Texas, boy. Oh my God.
I'm just gonna start banning these fucking idiots, dude. Block.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's why we don't like to talk about the Ukraine.
Yeah, dude. Every time I fucking bring it up,
it.
I feel like I have such a fucking like simple, easy to explain, direct to fucking opinion, and I get people literally recontextualizing everything. So, and like, I'm gonna be blocking a bunch of you fucking idiots. You keep going with it. Let's just move on. New woman says Herschel Walker got her pregnant and drove her to the abortion clinic. This is like the family values conservative.
Dude, the best thing about
Georgia.
this is like I've heard the talking points. So like, obviously he denies this shit, but pretty much privately they admit he's done all this stuff. They're like, look, he's not a person you like want to like know or be friends with, but it's gonna keep the Democrats out of power. It's like, wait, so the only reason to vote is because he's gonna espouse right-wing talking points that he doesn't even fully understand. Like, this guy doesn't understand shit. Like, go listen to Herschel Walker to like campaign or speak extemporaneously, and he has no idea what's going on. Like, I don't even know how he's a credible candidate for anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's, just not.
He lacks the political acumen. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be.
I was trying to find a way to say it without saying he's not intelligent. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be accused now of being a racist guy. But yeah, he's not a smart guy. He's not a smart man. And I think that anybody that's going to be serving, in any kind of government, whether it's local or federal or state or whatever the fuck, should be at least, intelligent. They should be intelligent, fucking well-educated. And this guy just isn't that. He just isn't that. In addition to being a total fucking hypocrite, because of course this is the anti-abortion, pro-family values candidate running for Georgia Senate.
Oh, that was before I knew I was going to be in this position. That's basically like the defense of this. Oh, I didn't do that. It's like, there's proof you did, bro. Like, so I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, you can deny it all you fucking want, but you're not anything you say you are. And that should be
I
right
love
there.
this. I love this too. Like this weaselly fucking political answer here. Walker's denied paying for an abortion. Oh, not going to deny that you took her to it. Not going to deny that you pushed her to get it. You're just going to deny that you actually paid your fucking part of it. What a piece of shit. I guess this is the second woman to do so too. Second woman has accused Georgia Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker pressuring her to get an abortion after she became pregnant during their relationship.
Dude, I'll tell you what, it's so dumb. He doesn't even deny it at this point in American politics. All he has to do is say like he had he didn't understand like scripture or some shit, but then he was taken and like he understood it and realized it was bad and repented, and that's why he's so against it now. Like any political acumen, that's all they would do, and it would just be a total like, yeah, like that stuff did happen, but I wasn't godly then, and then God came into my life, and I realized the error in my ways, and I talked to God, and God was like, no, you must right the wrongs you've done. I'm like, yes, God, I'll do it. How can I do it, God? By becoming senator of Georgia. All right, God, I'll do it. That's all you gotta do.
He sounds brilliant and sharp to me.
All right.
You must have a literal 0.1 IQ.
Nice trolling.
Yeah. Let's see. The unnamed woman's allegation revealed at a press conference Wednesday afternoon scheduled by attorney Gloria Allred came weeks after a different anonymous woman said Walker had paid for an abortion in 2009 and pressured her to get a second one 2 years later. He's running for Senate on, among other things, an anti-abortion platform. He's denied either woman's allegations, which were reported by the Daily Beast, the New York Times.
Right. He's totally innocent.
Walker denied the latest allegation at a campaign event earlier Wednesday. I'm done with this foolishness. I've already told people this is a lie. I'm not going to entertain. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't kill JFK either. Yeah, that's a nice non sequitur answer that has nothing to do with. Well, I didn't do that either. I didn't kill JFK.
That's all it takes for these fucking bubbleheads, though. They're just like, oh yeah, what's next? You know what I mean? Like it's completely out of the realm of possibility that this dude has had pressured women into abortions before.
No, not him. Definitely, he's innocent.
Not Mr. Walker. No.
He's innocent. Can't you see?
Mr. Walker said he is against women having abortions, but he pressured me to have one. The woman said, we don't need people in the U.S. Senate who profess one thing and do another. She said, I agree.
And I thought that, Paul, that not only that, we know they don't actually give a shit because there's states that abortion's still going to be legal. And these conservatives, when they need one, will just go to those states. These horrible places where they slaughter these babies. This dude does not give a flying fuck. If any of this shit is true, which it seems to me it is, he should be disqualified from right there. Like, if you're this pro-life person, he doesn't actually represent you. He doesn't fucking care. It's like I just don't get it. Like the people that just have this total avarice for power. They're just so great. Oh my god, I've got to be in power. I've got to have this power. And they run for political office, and people just buy into this shit. It's like, dude, he doesn't even represent what you want. He's literally just telling you what you want to fucking hear. It's demagoguery 101, and just like, well, you know it is, but he's got the R next to his name, so I gotta do it.
Yep. Let's see. Walker has expressed support for banning abortion without exceptions. So rape, incest, raise that incest baby, raise that rape baby.
Well, you know what?
Always been for life.
I hope I hope those laws pass, and that he can. But they're retroactive, and he can be arrested, thrown in jail.
Yeah, that would be nice if he ended up going to fucking jail because he forced some women into getting abortions or pressured them at the very least. This is brutal. Missing grandmother eaten alive by 22-foot long python in Indonesia.
Oh fuck, dude, that's no good.
This is fucked.
That's no good, man. Like I don't want to. Where's grandma?
Yeah.
Grandma, what's
big,
going
fat,
on?
Big
This
fat.
python kind of looks like grandma.
Yeah. Why does that python have a grandma shape in its tummy? So authorities say a missing Indonesian grandmother was swallowed whole by a 22-foot python over the weekend.
Oh no.
Oh man, the family
Poor
of the
grandma.
54-year-old woman reported her missing after they say she went to collect rubber on a plantation Sunday near her home in Jambi, Indonesia, according to CNN. The city's on the island of Sumatra, the country's second longest island. Batara Jambi police chief S. Harafa told the outlet when her husband went to look for her, he only found sandals, jacket, a headscarf, and a knife.
Oh.
According to the chief, 2 days after she disappeared, a search party found a reticulated python with a large bulge in its stomach. The woman was found when they cut it open. Oh my God, bro.
No, why?
You know what? I bitch a lot about, the state of things in America, but at least you're very unlikely to get swallowed whole by a reticulated python in the United States.
I mean, you gotta give us that.
Yeah, you'd have to throw yourself into a zoo exhibit or something to get that done,
I mean, I think at the zoo, you'd probably get banned before that. Like, sir, the reticulated python would not eat you today. Please.
Yeah, man, he looks hungry.
Come on.
Sounds like something TJ would be into. Getting eaten by a big python or something.
Donations. We need to send TJ to Indonesia. Yeah, we do. Poor TJ.
Yes, we do.
He can finally live his dream.
Speaking of donations, still working on those bizarre 1990s video game ads. Yep. We got public freakouts at 500. And like I said, the stretch goal.
We're about we're about $80 away from our next goal. Actually, sorry. We had $10 Streamlabs. We're actually $70 away. 70 away.
Yeah, if you think I got salty during the Ukraine discussion, I mean, if this Jordan Peterson shit happened, you ain't seen salty yet. You know what I mean?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I've very rarely gotten saltier than after I'm exposed to too much Jordan Peterson. Some more international news here. The world's dirtiest man died in Iran at 94. I don't know how they qualify the world's dirtiest, but
he looks filthy.
Yeah, he does look dirty. Amu Haji, who did not bathe for half a century, reportedly ate roadkill and smoked a pipe filled with animal excrement.
Look, I get the bathing one.
Yeah. Why smoking dog shit though?
Yeah, yeah, the roadkill thing I don't get, and the smoking the cat shit, dog shit pipe I don't. I hate Baz. I'll never take one again. Dude, he must have had a mom that just scrubbed his ass, and he's like, you know what? Fuck this. And then he got away from his family. He's like, I'm never bathing again. It's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, I can even understand the roadkill eating. It's gross, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
yeah,
smoking dog shit though, that's a total decision.
Yeah, don't they have like hashish or something in Iran? Something,
I'm
right?
sure they do.
I know.
I'm sure they got something.
I know alcohol is kind of forbidden there, but I mean, come on, about the hashish.
Yeah, but this is like, you know, flies in the face of all these fucking experts over here who say, you know, cleanliness helps you with your health and stuff. This guy didn't bathe, smoked dog shit for 90 years.
He smoked fucking dog shit, dude. It was 94. I mean, dude, Paul, how does this even happen? Like, we think we have like longevity figured out, and literally that guy that never bathes, eats fucking roadkill, and smokes shit.
Yeah, dude.
To be 94.
Oh man, I know, dude. The fucking human race is a nightmare.
That's
really
why I like when
is.
people present anything to be like, I figured this out, or I've got life figured out. It's like, no, you don't.
He lived a long, disgusting life. Yes, he did.
Okay,
yes,
he did.
So IRNA news agency reported that Abu Haji, an endearing nickname for an elderly person, I don't know what it means, died on Sunday in the village of Dejga. I'm fucked up thinking about him smoking dog shit all day.
I was imagining this guy just like a dog takes a fat fucking shit, him grabbing the fucking turd, put it in his wood pipe, and just.
So yeah, Haji, covered in soot and living in a cinder block shack, was reported by local media as to not have bathed with water or soap in more than 60 years. Villagers say he experienced emotional setbacks in his youth that led him to refuse to wash. So maybe you were right. Just had a mom that scrubbed his ass fucking too hard or whatever.
Probably the only bath that guy got was if like he happened to go out in the rain.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't think Iran's actually known for getting much rain. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Apparently this picture shows him
smoking shit?
several cigarettes at once and smoking some dog shit. Yeah, here you go. It's him smoking like that's 5 cigarettes at once.
Okay, I'm not really disputing he's the dirtiest dude ever.
Yeah, now looking at this, I believe it.
Like, looks like he's wearing a glove, dude.
Yeah, there he is taking a big hit of dog shit.
Oh man, he fucking lived his life, dude. 94 years.
There he is outside his cinder block hut.
Fucking years, dude. So, you know, he didn't give a fuck, Paul. He's
he
dirty, he's filthy, and he just didn't give a shit.
No, he didn't.
They like to smoke shit.
Yeah, he loved to smoke the shit though.
Didn't give a shit, but he loved to smoke it.
Oh man. Well,
bless his heart.
Ripping pepperonis, Abu Haji. You will be missed.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I never want to smoke a person before, but let's all smoke him. Let's break a piece off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a dinosaur turd, after this is done and smoke it up.
Like you already haven't.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's there. Nancy Pelosi scoffs at the idea that anybody would vote for a Republican in New York Times interview. Of course she does, because this is how liberals lose, because they think that like, oh, it was like I remember the same fucking hubris after the second term of George W. Bush. It was just like, oh yeah, now people see. Now people see what's up, and there's no fucking way. I can't even fucking imagine anybody voting for it. We got this in the bag. We don't really have to do anything. We have to give people anything. It's like, got it.
Yeah, let's give him John Kerry. Oh shit, never mind. Yeah, I got it again. He got me again. Just look at her.
Leader.
It's like, and she's saying like, how can anyone like just look at you? The Republicans like are putting forward like idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but at least they're not like 80 years old.
Yeah, not to be ageist, but I really am sick of every goddamn fucking politician being you know what, dude? If we're gonna elect old people, let's elect Abu Haji.
Yeah, let him smoke his shit pipe on the Senate floor.
Yeah, dude. I'd rather have him on the Senate floor smoking dog shit than you. So fuck you.
I mean, Nancy Pelosi is such an unlikable politician that it's just bizarre to be like, whoa, they wouldn't vote for anybody else. Like, number one, like, let's be honest, like, people are shallow. Just looking at Nancy Pelosi, it looks like a skeleton came to life and, like, slapped some skin on. And is like, also, it's like, but then you find out it's not a skeleton, it's actually a vampire. And it's here to suck you fucking dry. Yeah, Nancy, that's why. Because you're out of touch with the population. You don't give a shit. And you think that, like, rich, like, New York liberals were like, yeah, that's who's going to vote for me. It's like, no, that's not who's voting for you.
You oversee a horrible do-nothing Congress that's basically indistinguishable from a center-right party. You know what I mean? And you claim to be the American left. Yeah, you're the reason
She's
why people
laughable.
go vote for these horrible Republicans. You want to know why so many people flocked to Trump? It's you. You and your ilk, you and your fucking track record have left people jaded and disillusioned. And a lot of people fucking voted for Trump for those very reasons.
Yeah, what have they ever done? You know, it's like when someone comes along and is like, we'll drain the swamp. Look, there's a swamp. It's like, and you have someone like Nancy Pelosi who's at this point a career politician. I mean, she's just indicative of that. What has she done? Well, nothing really. It's like, okay, I remember when like they had that blue wave, like during like I think it was like George W. Bush's last term, and it was like Nancy Pelosi gonna be Speaker of the House. Oh, we're gonna do all this stuff. Oh, all this change. You know that like she has this really progressive record, and then just time just chips away at it, and eventually you're right. She's just the center right, basically do nothing. Like, dude, okay, here's a perfect example for you. You know the Sunshine Act, Paul. You know what that is?
No, not off the top of my head.
It was going to eliminate, I mean, it did some other things, but it's going to eliminate daylight savings time, which most Americans are like, it's worthless. I don't want to set my clock back or forward.
Oh, yeah.
And even passed the Senate, Paul, the Senate, the place where legislation in America goes to die.
Right. So that's, and they couldn't get it passed.
Yeah. And Nancy Pelosi is there, like, as Speaker of the House, that'd be her product. She could bring that bill forward. Like, yeah, like, let's have that vote. Let's have something like that. Like, yeah, a thing that, like, just like, most Americans probably agree on. Maybe there's some like weirdos who are like, no, keep it because I'm fucking stupid. We can't even do that. We can't even fucking do the Sunshine Act. And it's like, oh, that's like, what can we do? The only thing this Congress is good for is rubber stamping more fucking spending on foreign wars and more fucking military spending and more corporate welfare. It's a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah,
that's why people aren't going to vote for you, Nancy.
I still think fondly living in Arizona, which I think is the only state in the union that doesn't do daylight savings time. I may be wrong about that, but it's one of the few, if it isn't the only. And
I think there's parts of like Indiana or some shit. Like I thought that was shit was done with because like seeing on my like calendar, it's like daylight savings time ends or some shit. I was like, what? What? Didn't we eliminate that? Then I went and looked it up, and it's like, no. I'm like, wait a minute. People are like, we're celebrating the fact that the country did that, but now I find out that we didn't do it. We couldn't get it. I mean, if you want to see the political fucking gridlock we have, it's shit like that. It's like we can't even fucking eliminate daylight savings time when most Americans fucking support it. It shouldn't even be controversial.
And a lot of these politicians, Pelosi included, like to claim that political gridlock is due to the other party or whatever. No, it's due to you not being willing to use everything at your disposal when you have the numbers to do it. You're like unwilling to buck the fucking trend and do what you need to do when you have power. That's why there's gridlock. The gridlock is everybody's raking in money hand over fist and nobody wants anything to fundamentally change.
Oh,
That's what the gridlock comes from.
Yeah, why would they? It's like, man, it's working out well for me. And people don't get that. It's like, yeah, if the system is benefiting you, like, why the fuck would you want it to change? It's like, remember that they asked Nancy Pelosi about like, what about insider trading and stuff? And like your husband, and she's like, I'm so offended. I would even be asked that. Yep. It's like, well, why are you offended? Because it's true? Oh, I've never done that. It's like, but your husband has the inside track, and people have literally just like looked at your stock trades that you and him have made and tracked it and bought the stocks at the same time, or as roughly as close as they could, and made a bunch of money. So, but you don't know what's going on. You're not using that information, dude. Go watch the movie Wall Street. If that movie tells you anything about that's accurate about Wall Street, it's all insider trading. It's all insider information. It's like no one's guessing there. It's like what's going to be the next big thing. It's like they already know. Ding 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 ding. Like they already have the answer.
Yep. Like, they've got connections to powerful people that know decisions that are going to be made at corporations well ahead of time, well before the market knows, and they share that information with them. They know that their stock is going to take a jump or take a dive before anybody else knows it because they're engaged in the illegal practice of insider trading.
Well, dude, remember they had like, it was like the chip was like they were doing this big subsidy for chip makers, and it's like, oh, and it's like Paul Pelosi bought like a ton. And I'm like, okay, so go invest in Nvidia right now, you know, because I mean, like, clearly this shit's passing, and oh my god, it did! Oh, I can't believe it. How did they figure it out? That must have just got lucky. That was it. They just got real lucky, over and over again.
So in recent media interviews, the Democrat has spurned polls showing GOP favorite issues like the economy and crime are what voters care about the most. Pelosi argued last week on MSNBC that abortion rights were still a top concern for the majority of women and independents.
Wow, an issue you've done nothing about.
Right.
So great.
An issue that you've spent the last fucking 20 years dithering on instead of codifying. Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. Because, like, didn't we have... Okay, I'm trying to think back in recent history. Like, I think was there ever a point since, like, the 70s that the Democrats had, like, the White House and the Senate, Congress?
No, never, Scotty.
No,
It's
never. Yeah,
happened.
they could never have done anything about that. It's
Or
like,
or maybe it has 8 or 9 times. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
isn't it a mad world, Paul, where the people that did nothing about it are like, well, now I'm going to do something about it. What are you going to do? Nothing. But give me
Yeah.
money. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you some
We
money.
need
What are you
your
gonna do for me?
$5 so we can continue to ignore all the fucking issues that you. And I love her scoffing that the economy and crime wouldn't be big issue. Dude, those are big issues for everybody. Like nobody's just like, you know what? I don't really care about if somebody kicked down my door and shot me in the face, or if I didn't make enough money to live. Man, that's not. Those are, of course, those are heavy fucking concerns for people. And that's one of the reasons why she alienates people with that. People don't care about the economy at a time when people are suffering. Inflation's through the roof. Fucking, you know what I mean? Just like getting a house is just like an out of reach dream for the first time in American history. It's like, you know, or at least modern American history. Like that's what America used to pride itself on. It's one of the things that people looked at America looked at it with jealousy. They're like, look at how, you know, every man's got a little kingdom in America. Not anymore. That's for rich people and banks to own, so they can charge you up the ass with ridiculous over fucking priced rent.
You know why she doesn't understand that, Paul? Because her net worth is $135 million. It says right here her monthly income is $1 million. Oh yeah, I mean, so she definitely gets it though. She gets it. No one cares about the economy. Everyone makes $1 million a month, don't they?
She feels the
Nancy, they don't.
squeeze, Scotty. She feels the squeeze. She feels our pain.
Oh, yeah, the squeeze. Nancy, your caviar cost went up $300. Outrageous. All right, did you buy less? No, buy double.
I would scoff at the idea that Republicans are somehow going to be better in that situation.
Well,
of course they're not. But if she were to do that, she'd have to admit that they're sitting around doing nothing. So, you know, oh yeah, well, the Republicans ain't going to do no better. It's like, of course they're not, because you're basically the same party with a little faux fucking political division between you to keep people bobbleheading back and forth between the two of you while you rape the treasury and pick the pockets of every goddamn fucking American and make it impossible for those Americans to pursue even a humble dream like having a little fucking house somewhere. So fuck you. Like, I just hate, anytime she speaks, anytime she has anything to say about her legacy or the Democrats, I always find her just completely and utterly so far fucking out of touch. She's not even worth listening to.
Oh, not at all. She has nothing to say. And she's delusional. You know, like it's like when she finally does have to actually do her job, it's like, oh, let me do some cushy media. Oh, we're gonna win. Oh, it's gonna be like she would say the same shit regardless if they were gonna win or not, or if they had a good chance or a bad chance. She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't know. She doesn't care. And it's like, what? And at the end of the day, what does it fucking matter? It doesn't matter, because if you have Nancy Pelosi or whoever the fucking Republicans pick, you're gonna get the same result.
Yeah, we got billions for Ukraine, though. That's because Nancy Pelosi and her husband probably own a bunch of fucking military stock. They probably own a bunch of Boeing, a bunch of fucking, you know, Blackwater or whatever it is now. You know, a bunch of military adjacent, military industrial stock. And you know what? I love that people fucking line up and will parrot and retweet and fucking, like when these people talk about how they're waxing patriotic for the Ukrainians and how the Ukrainians deserve to be free and shit. If this shit went the other way, they'd be buying the fuck out of whatever stock was counter to it. You know what I mean? They'd be buying Russian stock and shit.
Oh, fuck
They're just fucking pieces of shit, bro. And, you know, that's another reason why I'm anti-war, not to take it back to that ugly place, but I don't know why that's an ugly place, by the way, being against war, but there you go. But yeah, no, it's because people like this are the ones that are funding the war strategy and making the vote for it. You really think that Pelosi's right this time? No. I refuse to believe that any transfer of millions of dollars to Pelosi and her fucking shitty husband's wallet, or shitty drunk DUI driving fucking husband, piece of fucking shit that'll never see the inside of a jail cell because he's too rich. They're profiting off that motherfucker. So that's reason enough, honestly, for me to be anti-war. To deny this fucking weirdo, this leather-faced old lady, a profit. So,
But come on, Paul. They need it. They need their $1 million a month income. How can they be out of touch without it?
right?
Like, it's just a lack of it's when you've hit a certain position in life. I mean, and Nancy Pelosi's just been on easy street for so long that, she has people that come up to her and tell her, like, what's going on? Abortion. Just talk about that. Because they can't talk about the economy because Joe Biden's in office. So they can't go, well, the economy sucks or this is bad. So they just have to pivot to whatever issue they think is going to motivate the most voters to their favor. And that is going to be abortion. It's going to be definitely that. They have nothing else to really even talk about. And it's not even a sense of achievement, like we protected abortion rights. Like, oh shit, well, on our watch we lost it, but now we'll do something about it. It's like you failed to do something. So the solution is to give you more money in the hopes that you'll somehow now do something when we know you have pretty much no power to do anything about it. Like you've already said, the Democrats will not change the filibuster. They will not pass it on a federal level. And even if they did, the problem now is, like, even let's say that dream world happens. They do pass legislation, protecting abortion rights throughout the entire country. Why wouldn't the Supreme Court just go strike that down right now? I mean, it might take a year or two, but it's going to happen. So, in effect, I don't really know what's going to change when we have such a fucking counterbalance in our government as the current makeup of the Supreme Court. I don't know how you really effectively give him pass any of those laws, because they can just decide it's unconstitutional. Oh, that law. No, it's unconstitutional. Can't have it. Sorry.
All right, Paul, chill. Some people in chat have DUIs on our records. Like, if you got a DUI on your record and you expect anything like sympathy from the average person, you really didn't learn anything from your fucking DUI. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck I hope if you learned one thing, it's to not fucking swill down a bunch of booze and then get behind the fucking wheel again. Dumb fuck. I've had friends and family members, both, killed by stupid, reckless idiots. So I hope that your DUI taught you at least to have a little bit of humility and shame for what you did, because you could have splattered a whole family across the fucking highway.
You could have. Yeah, I don't think there's anything defensible about that.
What a weird thing to expect sympathy for. Oh, chill out, Paul. Don't offend us, ex-DUI people. Fuck you.
What?
Fuck you.
Dude, everyone I know has been affected by someone like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like, no, I'm not going to defend people that made terrible decisions. Maybe you didn't harm anybody with your DUI, but the point is you very well could have, and you made a fucking terrible decision, and you don't have our sympathy for that.
If you got gaffled up for fucking selling weed, man, I got sympathy for you, because in my opinion, you didn't hurt nobody. If you got gaffled up for stealing a couple fucking things to live from a big multi-billion dollar corporation, I got plenty of sympathy for any kind of time you had to spend and hardship you had to endure as a result of those crimes. But you know what? If you got a DUI on your fucking record, fuck you. Hopefully you learned to give one iota of a shit about other people in this fucking country, because if you don't, they ought to lock you up for fucking good. In my opinion, jails are built for people like you. People that can't be trusted not to swill down half a fucking fifth of Jack before they get on the road. So eat a fat dick.
Dude, like, I mean, like you said, like, people, dude, Taylor's mom, her fucking got hit by someone going 80 miles per hour who didn't even stop, high out of their mind on fucking prescription drugs and pills and fucking anything else you can imagine in their system. It's like, it's insane. Like, dude, you really think we're going to sit here and go, oh, man, DUI, man, like, it's not like, dude, maybe you didn't hurt anybody, but you very well could have been that fucking person. It's just such a stupid fucking thing to do. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know why would you, dude, I hope that was a joke. I don't know why you would even come with that retarded ass shit. That is just beyond stupid.
I've seen that type of shit before. People that'll come to you with their like, man, I got DUI.
How many
fucking
DUIs
rough,
does
bro. I
TJ
lost
have?
my license
None.
and shit. Like I just sit there and nod when I hear people like, oh man, I lost my license. I locked up for a week. I fucking lost my job. I just nod when people tell me that. Yeah, good. Did you learn? When's the last time you got back in the fucking car with a bunch of booze? Fucking idiot. I just hate dumb fucks, dude.
Yeah.
Black Adam tops 140 million at the global box office. I can't take this serious, bro. I can't look at this and go like, I want to go see that movie right now, man. I cannot look
You want to see it, Paul?
Dude, it looks like a ballet leotard that they put him in. Like, this is lame. His look is lame. It's just The Rock. You know, they didn't give him any, like, didn't even have him grow a beard or anything for it. You know, no dye job, no CGI changes, no fucking makeup work on him to make him look a little different. No, it's just The Rock. You know, I can't.
The Rock is just like, dude. It was maybe like a few nights ago. I actually watched the movie Walking Tall, which just hasn't really aged well or whatever. But I was like, The Rock in this one, even though he's more awkward, like there's like actually like something like almost going on. Like, okay, I kind of see like why people liked The Rock back then. But now it's just like he's a fucking husk, dude. He's just steroidal, like I look like superhero, so therefore I am one. It's like what is this? Like,
But
and
like,
it's a
I gotta be
DC
honest,
one.
he doesn't look like a superhero to me. He looks like The Rock. You know what I mean? I can't do it. I can't take him seriously in a role. I can't.
Well, I mean,
do
as far as the philosophy, he looks like what you would think a superhero would look like. But I get what
Sure.
you're saying too. Like,
yeah, from the neck down, he looks like a superhero.
you can't unsee The Rock, and that's always kind of been his draw, but also been his biggest drawback. You know, but he's always had such box. You know, like I didn't expect this movie to flop or anything. I'm not surprised it made a shit ton of money. And critics have savaged this, but obviously, I think the fans have been way more kind. So, you know, I think it's one of those movies where it's like a lot of fan base is pleased by this, but a lot of people that have, you know, are just more like looking at it critically or just like, this is shit. It looks shitty. It seemed bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't imagine myself ever going to see this. Like maybe I'll watch it when it's on Prime or VOD for free just to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
But definitely not looking forward to like, oh my God, I've got to see this in theaters.
It's just goofy to me. And I really think the reason why people are going to this and gobbling it up so much is because like over the last 10, 15 years or whatever the fuck, they've been trained to expect like a new superhero thing every fucking month or whatever. And they're just, like, now that like Marvel isn't cranking them out as fast as it used to, they're just so starved for anything that they're going to go see this stupid fucking shit.
Well, you know, I mean, you talked about this on like Grease Trap, or just how like the movie format. Well, I don't want to say it's a dying format. It's not as popular as it used to be. So it's like, I'd say maybe a format in decline. So it's like you basically have studios that only want to do, especially for tentpole movies, like surefire things. Like, oh, and these superhero movies have proven just time and time again, you can make basically a mid-tier quality but big budget blockbuster superhero movie, and you'll probably be successful and make a bunch of money. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's probably just the fact it translates so well internationally. Like, I guess there's just enough of that element to it where it's like they're just internationally very palatable and just very profitable. But unfortunately, with this, the thing that suffered about that is we have very few original projects coming out in the cinematic space. And it's like, dude, I remember like just looking at August, the movies are coming out, like, because I like to go to the movies. Like, I definitely enjoy going. It's like, it was maybe 6 or 7 weeks before like I saw anything that I even approached wanting to see. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy to me. It's like, this is the summertime. Like, I should be just loaded down with shit. And it was like a fucking like a drought of anything I really had any interest in seeing.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, man. Like, Amelia and I think are going to go this weekend and see a movie, but we've looked at like what's playing and I'm just kind of like,
I'm going to see us. And I know you would want to see this, but I'm going to see a showing of Spirited Away.
Oh, well, I mean, look, dude, I actually like Spirited Away, and I'd rather go see Spirited Away on the big screen than like see anything that's out right now.
See Black Adam, Paul. Black Adam.
No, can't do it.
I know, because you know what, Paul, you'd end up walking out. Even if you like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do it. You got your popcorn, you got your Coke and all that. You sit down in the seat, you're like, the credits are gonna start rolling. You're like, nope, You just have to run out of the fucking theater. You're like, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it, man. I can't do this to myself. I can't do it again. Because you know why? You know why you can't fucking do it? It's because you've already done it before so many times. Like they've gotten your money so many times. We've seen this movie so many fucking times. That it's just like the new freaking stroke session. It's like, oh, okay, okay, yeah, I've seen this before. Like, it's been done to death. Is he a hero? Is he a villain? Nobody knows. It's Black Adam. It's crazy. It's like,
But
oh,
this
God.
time he's The Rock, Scotty. That doesn't suck you into that fucking theater, Scotty. This time you're generic.
The Rock repels me.
By this point, latex.
He repels me from movies at this point.
Spandex singlet wearing fucking superhero that might be an anti-hero is The Rock this time, though. So, you know, I can't, dude. I can't deal with it. Good, you know, good for Black Adam. Good for you if you're a fan of if you're like a continued hungry fan of the woe-begotten modern superhero.
Yeah, the infantile gruel that Hollywood keeps shoveling down your fucking throat. If you love it, hey, you know what? Might as well keep sucking it down. But as far as we're concerned, it's fucking trash.
Yeah, Marvel movies. Here you
go. Here you go.
I love it. Of course, yeah, of course. Always love watching you guys' old content. Everyone go, Paul's crazy and doesn't know what he's talking about. And then 3 years later, seeing the cycle happen again. This Ukraine thing is the next cycle. Oh yeah, it's a constant thing. And you know where those people go once they've like quietly limped over to my side of the argument and start pretending like it was theirs all along? They disappear from my life. They're nowhere to be found until they've got the next bad take.
Yeah, they're waiting in the wings. Like, what could be my next terrible take? I don't know. I'm working on it.
I love Peyton, dude. Of course you loved it, Peyton. It's The Rock. You know what I mean? How you not gonna love it?
Naturally, Peyton. Naturally. This is cool. So I'm looking here. I think we're about. Is our goal 250 or is it 200?
Our goal is 250.
Okay,
for the bizarre 90s video game ads.
So looking at, we are $38 away.
Oh wow,
We're getting close.
Pulling up on that 250. We're also probably pulling up at about halfway through our news stories. So, like I said, if you guys want to see some public freakouts, and I know it's a, like I said, it's a distant goal, but if you really want to see us suffer through a, I will tell you guys,
it's a long video too. It's like 38 minutes, and obviously we'll probably skip around, but it's actually broken into chapters, so we can actually go and hear Peterson's thought on each chapter of it. But yeah, that's our stretch goal for this one.
Yeah, it's a girthy one for sure. So there you go. Senate election coming up. 538 here is saying it's a dead heat. Statistically, no difference between the parties, maybe a slight advantage for Democrats overall, but it says the Senate is currently a toss-up with Democrats ever so slightly ahead. The party that wins 2 of the 3 closest states likely win the Senate majority. Republicans' 2 best pickup opportunities are Nevada and Georgia. However, Herschel Walker's scandals may hurt his, probably not. I think the days of that type of scandal hurting a politician are over. Like, I think Donald Trump slayed that with a sword, because that dude has had nothing but scandal his whole life. He is basically a walking scandal.
He is, yeah. He was scandalous even before he was in politics, man.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Going all the way back to him first being a media figure, he's drenched in scandal, and nobody can make a fucking thing stick to him. Even to the point where, like, a lot of the old boomer Republicans were like, all right, I'm pulling the plug on this Donald Trump thing. He won anyway. So I think this whole idea that, like, these scandals are going to stop people from getting into office, like, maybe in some places, maybe it's not totally dead, but I really think the era of, like, the October surprise, you know what I mean? Or the November surprise or whatever the fuck. I think those days are long gone.
I mean, like, why would the public even give a shit, dude? Like, it's just like they've just been so conditioned now. Like, see, a scandal used to be a big deal because there was a novelty to it. But when it just becomes the norm, where it's like, oh, this person was involved in this scandal, and it's like, then when you just become desensitized to it, it's kind of like mass shootings. Like, people should care more about them, but I think now it's like a lot of people just read like 18 people gunned down, like, oh, okay, past Cheerios, like, whereas before it'd be like, oh, what? No,
I mean, like, you know, you look at something like Columbine and shit, like the country basically came to a fucking halt for 2 weeks. There was all kinds of businesses that closed. Like school campuses turned into war zones, like literal, like fucking military was called out to be able to police some of these campuses, surround them, and blah, 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 blah. Like there was this huge, immediate, like tax initiative in a bunch of states for schools to install a bunch of metal detectors and shit. And now, you know what I mean? It's just Wednesday when one of these fucking things happens. You know?
It really is. So I mean, yeah, not too surprising here. I mean, it looks like the Democrats might hold the Senate, or I guess maybe most projections I've seen on this site show them pick the most likely scenario is that it's either an even Senate or like they pick up 1 seat, or
Right.
like the most one of their benefit is they would pick up 2. I think the Republicans, you know, it's basically they win either a majority or they get like obviously with Biden being in office they need 51. So I think that's probably why it favors them more than anything, because if it stays even, then they still don't control it.
Yeah. So there are definitely more paths, but it would not, also looking at this, it wouldn't be shot. And just looking at the general fucking political divisiveness in this country, it would not be shocking to me if the Republicans pull this out.
Yeah, it's always going to be close, though. I mean, for the most part, unless about just super red states, it's always going to be close.
So the ISS had a move to dodge some space junk.
Evasive maneuvers.
Yep. They had to fire its thrusters this week to make sure it avoided some space junk in orbit around Earth. This is one of those things that I always like. I just face palm when I think about it. I'm just like, we're already shitting up space.
Oh God, yeah.
Like if we ever do make it another couple hundred years, like fuck the whole blue planet thing. The sun's rays are going to be bounced off of just a blanket of space junk. Can you imagine? Like you'll be able to see it at night. It's like,
dude, I could tell you, like, there's very few tweets that I've ever been fucking proud of, but like I made one about space junk like years ago, and I was like, because I'm like, this is basically what humanity's legacy is going to be. If we all die out and some aliens visit our planet, it's just gonna be like oh, it's just this really junky trash planet. Like we're like basically the equivalent of like trailer trash planet. We'll be like, all right, and everything around us and like our gravitational fucking field is basically gonna be like, well, a bunch of junk. We're basically space trash pirates shit. You know, it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, some of that shit, you have to imagine that some of our garbage, in fact, I know it has. I know quite a bit of our garbage has escaped Earth's orbit. Like we have orbiters and shit that we've sent to fucking Mars and landers and shit. What do you think happens to all the booster rockets and shit after it falls off? It just falls to the planet. Where do you think those go? You know?
Fuck if I know.
Those are just land, like either floating in the atmosphere of the planet. Or laying on the surface of it. So we just can't help but shit up everything we touch. Oh man, I really have very little hope for the species, man.
Why do you say that? I can't believe you'd say
we are not the most thoughtful monkeys on the planet.
We are not smart monkeys. Sorry.
No. Monkey accidentally trash him's space. What monkey do?
All I know is I want to be a space trash pirate. That's what I want to be.
Yeah, dude. You could be like Elon Musk of waste removal in space, you know?
Fuck, then I'm going to be spreading trash, dude.
Of course.
I mean, like, look, humans are at their best when they're destroying shit. I need to destroy the cosmos.
Kevin Spacey did not. So Kevin Spacey cleared. Kevin Spacey beat his Casey. Scotty.
You mean Frank Underwood, dude?
Frank Underwood. Yeah, that's right. Because
we all know of course, you know I was gonna beat that little case of theirs.
Yeah, dude. The demon that we know as Frank Underwood long ago took over Kevin Spacey's body. But the Kevin Spacey body, which did exist in 1986, did not molest Anthony Rapp, according to a jury.
There was a huge. I don't know if you've read much about this or heard much about this, but they had a huge glaring hole in their case against him.
What was it?
Well, it hinged on basically there being like a separate bedroom, but at the time of the accusation, they actually had photographic evidence that Kevin Spacey lived in a studio in New York, I believe. And Anthony Rapp like claimed like, well, I saw something through like this bedroom door or something to basically imply there was a separate bedroom, but like they provided evidence like there was no separate bedroom. Like you couldn't have been looking through anything. Like,
Damn.
so like I'm not sure if the article will talk about it, but that's like what it hinged on. And my understanding was like, oh shit. Like if that's true, like, yeah, I see why you lost your fucking case.
Yeah, because I mean, it would imply that at the very least you went to his bedroom or he came into yours or whatever the fuck, and you.
Or you were just in his apartment, and that's
Right.
when it happened. You know, it's like, ooh.
When the verdict was read, Spacey dropped his head, hugged his lawyers. He didn't speak to reporters who left as he left the courthouse. We're very grateful to the jury for seeing through these false allegations, his attorney Jennifer Keller said. What's next is Mr. Spacey is going to be proven that he's innocent of anything he's been accused of. There was no truth to any of these allegations. She added a reference to other sexual misconduct claims against the actor, including criminal charges in England. Rapp posted a statement saying he was grateful his case was heard in court. Bringing this lawsuit was always about shining a light, a part of the larger movement to stand up against all forms of sexual violence, he wrote, pledging to keep on advocating. I sincerely hope survivors continue to tell their stories and fight for accountability. So he's sticking to that he was, assaulted.
I think actually gets into if you go a little bit lower than that.
Oh, yeah.
Like during the trial, Rapp testified that Spacey invited him into his apartment for a party, then approached him in a bedroom after the other guests had left. He said the actor, then 26, picked him up and laid partially on top of him on a bed before he wriggled away. And fled as inebriated Spacey asked if he was sure he wanted to leave. In sometimes tearful testimony, Spacey told the jury that never happened, and he would never have been attracted to someone who was 14. The lawsuit sought $40 million damages. Rapp and his lawyers also left the court outside speaking to reporters. In his closing statement to the jury Thursday, Rapp's lawyer, Richard Steigman, accused Spacey of lying on the witness stand. Well, of course. He lacks credibility, Steigman said. Sometimes the simple truth is the best. The simple truth is that this happened. It's kind of weird. They don't really seem to get into that part of it, which is kind of interesting because that's like, to me, that seemed like a very like crucial thing to the case. Like when he claimed to be a separate bedroom and it wasn't. Now, it doesn't mean like I'm not saying he couldn't have still done it. I mean, of course he could have, but when you have your story in conflict that you've told over and over again with actual evidence, it's I don't know. I mean, like
it or not, trial by a jury of your peers is the best indicator of guilt or innocence that we can come up with. And so at least that we have come up with, it's your best chance of getting a fair shake. So yeah,
it was a civil trial too.
Is it possible that he did this and lied about it? Yes.
Of course.
But it's been that his credibility has been put to what the ultimate test in America, which is, going through a full trial by a jury of your peers. So Rapp's claims those
here it is.
abruptly, does it say?
It says at the trial, sorry to interrupt you though, Spacey testified that he was sure the encounter with Rapp never happened, in part you moved it so I lost.
Sorry.
That's okay. In part because he was living in a studio apartment rather than a one bedroom that Rapp cited, and he had never had a gathering beyond a housewarming party. I knew I couldn't have had any sexual interest in Anthony Rapp or any child that I knew, he told the jurors. During her closing arguments to the jury, Keller suggested Rapp imagine the encounter with Spacey or just made it up. Made it up. It was possible, she said, that Rapp invented it based on experience performing in Precious Sons, a play in which actor Ed Harris picks up Rapp's character, lays on top of him, mistaking him briefly for his wife before discovering it is his son.
Huh.
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, she also suggested Rapp later grew jealous of Spacey, became a megastar while Rapp had smaller roles in small shows.
It sucks with stuff like this, dude, because it's plausible that this is complete bullshit, and it's plausible that he did it, and obviously something in between, I mean, they could have just had a relationship that went sour. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I wonder if he's exonerated of all of these charges, if he's going to sue Netflix for wrongful termination and shit.
It's that's actually true, because it's crazy, because he actually did fight them over that, and he lost that. But I mean, in light of if he beats all these fucking raps, which I mean, it's Kevin Spacey, I don't know. People keep doubting him. It's like he's just one of those guys where it's like, oh no, Kevin Spacey's done. But if he beats everything, is he really going to remain canceled? I mean, what would even be
never underestimate Frank Underwood, Scotty? He's always got an ace up his sleeve. You know that.
Regardless, he's still blacklisted, right? I mean, for now. But like, if he beats everything, like, what would be the auspices for blacklisting him?
I would be willing to bet that even like after this verdict, that his career will like start normalizing again. Like, I think he's going to get a lot of work.
Yeah, especially if he beats the thing that's going on in like the UK. If he beats that, then I mean, it's just gonna be like, well, what do they got? They got nothing on me.
Right. He's been tried and found not guilty. Like, there's no reason because Spacey's just like whatever. Like, even if he did all this shit, he's a super talented actor, and I think that he's in like the prime possibly of his acting career too, and his potential acting career. I think that he could be doing a ton of fucking great roles, and he's been kind of denied that over the last few years. He fights these allegations. So if he's cleared from one or more of the rest of these, I've got a pretty good idea that blacklist is getting updated.
Oh, more than likely, yeah. But well, I mean, we never know.
He also cried as he regretted revealing that he was gay. The same day, Rapp's accusation surfaces because some interpreted the announcement as an effort to change the subject. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Come on, like that was.
Well, you may want to look out because Houdini the Cobra has escaped his enclosure, Scotty.
Oh,
you're a Swede. You're in Stockholm, you better fucking sleep with one eye open, because there is a fucking sneaky cobra named Houdini that is out and about somewhere. Yeah.
For first you said that shit, I'm like, no, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You've got to be fucking kidding me. It's like, is that somewhere near me? I'm expecting to be like the Shreveport Zoo. I don't think there is a zoo here actually, but still, like maybe I didn't realize there was one.
Yeah, dude, the Shreveport Reptile Farm. Come on in, y'all.
That sounds more accurate, to be honest with you. The Shreveport Reptile Shack done had a cobra escape to one of the flowboards.
Yep. One of them flowboards had an old knot in it, and I filled it up with some mud before we threw that snake off in there, but I guess he dug through it.
That's exactly what happened to him. Man, I can't believe that done happen. Can you believe that?
He's over there. He's out there somewhere, y'all. Like a big cobra. And fucking Louisiana wouldn't skip a beat either.
It wouldn't.
No one would care. Well, there's another poisonous snake out there in the swamps. Oh well.
Well, what can you do?
Plenty of them. So his name is Sir Voss, which I guess means Sir Hiss. So he's named after Hiss from that old Disney Robin Hood shit. He escaped Sunday through a lamp fixture in his terrarium and was believed to be somewhere in an inner ceiling. He'd only been brought to the zoo a few days earlier. The snake has now been renamed Houdini. Maybe you rename him after you catch him,
Yeah, come on. Get him back first.
So they've spread out flour all over everything, trying to get like slither marks. And I guess they put out some sticky traps. They've also got a bunch of special cameras designed to inspect sewage pipes in order to search the nooks and crannies out of reach. They're like acting under the assumption that this motherfucker isn't long gone and out in the community. You know what I mean? They're acting on the assumption that he just like stayed in the building. If this motherfucker wanted to get out of his terrarium, he wanted to get out of that building too, probably.
Yeah. I think someone point out he's probably not going to survive the Swedish winter. I mean, yeah, Houdini's probably going to be dead. Unless
he finds some warm ass fucking basement window to climb into,
Oh, shit, dude. Maybe so. Fuck. He's a cobra, too. So, I mean, like, he can kill you.
Oh, yeah, dude. You fucking get bit by one of these.
Snake.
Yeah, you in trouble. I guess the terrarium has housed king cobras for about 15 years, but it only took the new tenant 5 days on the way out. Some tells me this terrarium is going to be less looked on less fondly by the community after this.
Dude, like this, you know what it was? They're just lucky. They had some fucking just really chill ass cobras, and then Houdini shows up. And he's like, I think not.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking out of here. He's like that fish with the scar in Finding Nemo,
Oh shit, yeah. He's just waiting, biding his time.
So the reptile section has been evacuated and has been closed until they can find out what happened.
No,
to
so
the
that's
snake.
dumb, dude. Because you know what? I mean, hey, if someone has to die to find Houdini, so be it. Like you step in there, you're like, look, it's a little. Oh no! Oh, we found Houdini. Grab him.
Yeah, seriously, what better way than the human alarm? You know, let them all in.
Yeah, let people in. Let Houdini. I mean, Houdini might even get spooked by the people being in there and go back to his exhibit and be like, "Fuck this shit. I don't trust these shaved apes."
Meta, the ex Facebook Meta is, I guess its shares are plummeting.
Oh no! How could it be?
I mean, I can't even imagine owning Facebook stock, let alone Meta stock. So,
Oh,
yeah, it's plunged 19% on Wednesday, apparently.
fuck. I mean, because yeah, they're leaning into this VR shit that's just, to be honest with you, just not there yet.
Well, it's definitely not there as they conceptualized it.
Oh,
They
fuck.
what they presented as the vision for their company in the short to medium term was just like repellent to pretty much everybody. It was a bunch of shit based around like how you can be at work while you're sitting at home. It's
Yeah,
like
the
nobody wants
metaverse.
that.
Like,
Nobody
that
wants
sounds-
that.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
The company said revenue for the fourth quarter will be 30 billion to 32.5 billion. Analysts were expecting 32.2.
But I gotta remember they're investing huge amounts of money into their VR and like their fucking metaverse shit. Says, well, revenue fell 4% in the third quarter. Meta's cost and expenses rose 19% over the year to 22.1 billion. Oh my god. Oh, what are they even spending? I mean, it's just like, I hope it's just like some crazy money laundering scheme that they fucking Mark Zuckerberg has fucking cooked up, dude, because this is like asinine. Operating income declined 46% from the previous year to 5.66 billion. Its operating margin, or its profits left after accounting for costs to run the business, sank 20% to 20% from 36% a year earlier. Overall net income was down 52% to 4.4 billion in the third quarter. I just don't know why you would make a bet like this, like into like this VR shit. Like, yeah, I think that's eventually going to be a big thing, and I guess that's maybe what they're thinking. Like, oh, if we have the first mover advantage and create an actual like functioning VR world that people want to spend time in, you know, we can basically monetize it to the, like, you know, just the umpteenth degree and make all, like, you know, we'll just be the richest company in the fucking world, if we're being honest. Because like if you can create like a fantasy world for people, like a truly immersive fantasy world, I mean, there's gonna be people lined up around the block for that shit.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I guess in their houses.
That's not what he pitched, though. He pitched your office and all the shitty people that you hate in it. It's coming to your fucking dining room table.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be able to sit down in your living room and make it feel and look and sound just like you're at your office. It like, here's the thing. It assumes wrongly, and it makes sense that it was fucking Mark Zuckerberg and his ilk that came up with this.
Right.
People like sitting in their fucking offices all day.
No, they hate it.
Right. He likes sitting in his office all day because he works at a place where he can fucking rollerblade around. It's probably got like, you know, whatever it is he wants, it's on tap there. Everybody that comes in sucks his ass. You know, he can just jerk off and play fucking video games all day if he wants. And like, he loves his office. And he assumes like, man, you know what people are missing in their lives? Office. But when they're at home, you know, it's like, no, they treasure every moment they're at home and they dread every moment they go to the fucking office.
Yeah, and no remote worker is looking for like, yeah, maybe put on a fucking headset all day or some glasses all day and have to interact with like fucking avatars of other people who are your slaves. Like, no thanks. I'm good.
Yep.
I don't need to do that. I'm content, you know, fucking having a picture up in Zoom or something. Like, I don't want to do this.
He's got a corner fucking office in one of those little mini skyscrapers in Palo Alto or wherever the fuck. You know, like he's living large. Like for a lot of people, the office, quote unquote, is a cubicle. Like you don't want to invoke that when trying to sell your fucking shit to people. Nobody wants that.
Well, that's all they can offer at this point. Like,
Nobody wants to
realize,
experience that virtually or otherwise, you know?
yeah, well, that's all they can offer. So, I mean, you're right. I mean, like, obviously what I described is like, oh yeah. And like, that's obviously what they're trying to sell you, but essentially they don't have that to sell you. So you're right. You end up getting like, this just terrible dystopian fucking like be at home, but then also be at work, but then it's simulated. So it's more pleasant. Like, look, it's sunshine. Oh, and here's a list of emails you have to respond to. It's like, no one wants this. Like, who's this? Like, who's this been designed for? I don't even know. Like, I just don't like on the corporate end. I just assume they want their drones there. They want to be able to look at the drone and be like, Unit 5, I control you. Go here. Like, I don't assume that they would want to give people even because to me, like setting up this VR world isn't going to cost you a bunch of money because you're gonna have to give all your employees.
Clearly, it is. Yeah, 22.1 billion year to year.
I don't know. Like, this just seems like a disastrous move. Like, when I heard the company going this way and like his just like best imitation of Steve Jobs trying to sell you something where it's like, this is the iPhone, where it's like, oh wow, a device that makes our lives better.
I think that if it had an ounce of self-awareness, it might have been successful. Like, I think if he'd come out the gate with a presentation and a sales pitch that was really like about the opposite of what his was. Like, we know the world sucks. We know it's hard living there. Mental health problems are skyrocketing, drug problems skyrocketing in this country. And a lot of that has to do with people want to escape. And the value of the things that we escape to has gotten less and less as, you know, companies invest less and less money into more and more drivel. Here's the virtual world, a total escape, a place to come and rejuvenate and relax and have fun and you know, be titillated and be excited and consume media in a non-traditional way that's like a total escape from your surroundings. Like, if he'd have come up with something like that, I think this would probably be doing way better. But the fact that he just sold it as like it's like Zoom but in VR, like, nobody wants that.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
Like, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So yeah. Revenue in the Reality Labs unit, which houses the company's virtual reality headsets and its futuristic metaverse business, fell by almost half from a year earlier to 285 million. Its loss widened to 3.67 billion from 2.63 billion in the same quarter of last year. Reality Labs has lost 9.4 billion so far this year, and there's no end in sight.
I mean, if they just bought Bitcoin, if that was their business model of like, let's buy Bitcoin, like, they might have actually done better.
Like, even this name shows a profound like lack of awareness. Reality Labs. Reality is what people want to escape from. You don't want to invoke the mundaneness and banalness of reality. You know, being unlucky enough to be alive at the time of the dying empires. You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes that. It's reality. It's the burning forests. It's the melting fucking ice caps. It's the crime. It's the unaffordable food. It's the unaffordable land. It's the fucking untenable jobs that we're trying to escape from. That's all part of this. You should have called yourself like Fantasy Labs or some shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Didn't they do some basic focus groups before spending billions? Yeah, but that can all be rigged. Like, that can all, like, if Mark Zuckerberg wants to do that, you don't think they can get that result for him? Because like what we just listed, they can come to you and be like, would you want a fantasy world which you could do anything? Like, you could be a gladiator, you could climb a mountain, and of course people are gonna go, yeah. Oh, look, the focus groups love it.
Focus groups are often like tainted by the fact that there's a phenomenon. I can't remember the name of it, but I learned about it in college, where people that are part of a focus group, because of the whole process of it, some people are likely to be biased for or against the product. So it's like a lie detector, right? It may give you a general idea that somebody's likes your product, but you don't really know for sure.
Of course.
The market is the true judge of how your product's going to do. And so, like, there's only so much a focus group can accomplish. But he didn't like that. It just shows you that his company is out of touch with what people want. And that's not a good thing if you're running a social media company that's trying to split off into a VR company. Ugh. Sigourney Weaver plays a 14-year-old in Avatar. I don't know. I this picture doesn't make me feel good about what Avatar is gonna be like. Does it you?
No. Not at all. I mean, like,
this looks like, yeah, this looks bad, you know. It
yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I really want it to be something special, But at the same time, when I see shit like this, I'm just like, how could this be like 10 years in the making? And maybe it looks better when you're watching it on the big screen or something, but this still, I don't know.
It looks like a bad video game cutscene to me. Maybe slightly better than a bad video game cutscene in terms of what I'm looking at here. I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like this would be more at home if like Avatar's about to release a new video game. It's like, oh, okay. But instead, it's like, this is the movie.
Yeah, that's the movie. Sigourney Weaver reunites again with James Cameron in Avatar: The Way of Water. This time as an orphan 14-year-old Na'vi named Kiri. In an interview with the New York Times, Cameron and the 73-year-old actress joked about what an obvious choice she was. This being Avatar, Weaver's performance involved a fair amount of motion capture.
Oh, of course.
I remember Jim finally made the decision. He said, "You can do this because you're so immature. Nobody knows this but me, but I know that you're just 14 at heart." Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know.
This is bizarre. I mean, like, look, I love Sigourney Weaver and everything else, but like, if I think like I want someone to play a 14-year-old, who do I cast? 73-year-old. That's who I need to cast. That's gonna, and I get the long-standing relationship between the two people. I mean, that's clearly why she was cast in this role to begin with. I mean, so I get it, but like, I don't know. I mean, that's that, but you know what? If she's good at it, it's truly acting. Like, you know, it's like some people can act and do that, and she can pull it off. Then kudos to her. But that seems like a really fucking broad stretch to me. Because like when you age, your voice changes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's hard to imagine 73-year-old Sigourney Weaver sounding like she's actually plausibly 14. Maybe
yeah,
she
and it just
can do
seems
it.
like, why would you take the chance on skeeving people out like that? Just get somebody that like, and there's plenty of actresses that can do like a voice, like they might be in their 30s, 40s, 50s, but they can do that. But I don't think Sigourney is. Maybe she is. Maybe it's a talent of hers that she can, you know, do a higher pitched and younger sounding voice.
Yeah, maybe so. But I hope it's like be like, hey guys.
Yeah, but I kind of doubt it. Wow, it's so weird being a rebellious 14-year-old Na'vi.
I know I covered it in the Zombie Simpsons episode, but it's like I wouldn't watch an episode of the modern Simpsons, and like Homer does not sound like Homer, and Marge does not sound anything like Marge. And like it really nailed into me. Like I was like watching the character speak, and I'm like, is this like a bad YouTube dubbing or something? So it's like, I don't know, it just gets me thinking like Sigourney Weaver 73, and based on that and the way her voice is aged, unless she's an amazing voice actor that we know nothing about, it's kind of hard to see how it doesn't sound like a 73-year-old playing a 14-year-old.
No.
But maybe we're wrong.
I liked Avatar. It's on a short list of movies that I've actually gone to see more than once at the movie theater. You know, it's probably like 5 other movies besides it that I've ever done that with. So it was a good movie. I really liked. I thought it was, you know, a good spectacle action flick or whatever. But this does not. Some about this sits creepy to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I know you're probably going to see this in theaters, Paul, because I mean, you love James Cameron. I know that. So.
I do. Yeah. I have an abiding love for Jim Cameron. Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
I'm a simp, just, you know. So you know, whatever.
But it doesn't make it. I don't know. I'm not feeling this cast
because they know we got our money, Paul. That's what James Cameron knows. He's like, look, Paul, I cast a 73-year-old as a 14-year-old, but I still got your money, right? And you're like,
yeah, he's already cashed.
Oh, fuck, you got it. You're right. Here you go. Yeah. Just take my money.
San Francisco is building a single public toilet that'll cost $1.7 million. It will be completed in 2025.
Dude, how?
Because California, dude. Trust me, because California.
Dude, this is corruption 101. Like,
yep.
They're gonna build one toilet.
Yep.
One toilet.
An almost $2 million toilet that it's gonna take 3 years to fucking finish.
They could fucking go to a business in San Francisco and say, look, we want to open this to homeless people. Like, we'll provide city security or something in an existing building and probably do this for like hardly anything.
Oh yeah.
This makes no fucking sense at all. Like, why would they even build this? Like, if someone told me like, yeah, so the cost of that public bathroom is going to be 1.7 million. It's like, no, that's ridiculous. No, of course we're not doing that. Cancel that shit immediately. That's retarded. That's stupid. Like, why would even? That's so asinine. It's beyond the pale. Like, why would anyone even fucking consider this for a second? Yeah. It makes no sense. 1.7 million for a fucking toilet.
that it's going to take you 3 years to build.
Yeah,
You
and
imagine,
look,
dude?
it's San Francisco. It's not going to alleviate the problem of people shitting on the fucking street. That's not going to
Well,
solve anything.
you would need 10,000 of them, and even if you had that spread all over the city, which I think all big cities like this that have huge
Should have,
walkable
right.
downtown areas and shit, they should all have that. Everybody's got to piss. Everybody's got to shit. It's like we're not barbarians anymore. All right, because these businesses can't be trusted to do it. Half of them won't let you come in and take a piss in theirs, which I think, like in the absence of public toilets, should be mandatory. Should be something that's mandatory for every business to provide a public toilet. Any business that does public business with public traffic must have a public toilet. I think that's reasonable, but that's not the way it is if you've ever been around.
Oh no,
So,
yeah, they can be like, no, get the hell out of here.
So
now,
yeah,
generally, you know, as long as you don't look homeless or you're passing just for like, I'm just the average citizen. Like you walk into a place, they're probably not going to say anything to you. But obviously, because San Francisco is such a problem with homelessness, you know, because it's so expensive to live in that area.
Yep.
Now this is an issue. Like, and it's kind of funny because there's like a level of detachment. You have people that like are really successful there. Be like, oh, the crime is rampant and this and this and this. And it's like, why do you think all that is? Like tech companies came in, bought up all the real estate, have nothing but money. So you have a bunch of people who are super wealthy next to people who have nothing.
Yep.
And it's like, why do we have all these problems? It's like, and shit like this that makes that's just fodder for conservatives. Where it's like, huh, you hear about this, guys? They can't. A bathroom in San Francisco is going to cost $1.7 million and take 3 years to build.
Yeah, I mean this is a Fox story, but you're right. I mean this is like this is ridiculous. There's no defense for this.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no defense for this cost overrun, and there's no defense for it taking fucking 3 years to get a toilet built.
Fuck
no. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, guys, we're actually pretty close now. I think we're actually $3 away from our 250 goal.
I see.
We're
I
super
tell you what,
close.
Let's take a little break from the news and let's do a little bit of these goals. We'll go back and talk about them again. Just for those of you that maybe you're just joining us, we've just met the $250 goal, which is some bizarre 90s video game ads.
Well, actually, we're super close. We're $3 away from that.
We're $3 away from that. So we will most likely
I have to be technical, and that's the amount.
Sure. And then at $500, we'll be looking at some pretty primo public freakouts. And hey, if we make the $750 stretch goal, we'll be looking at some Jordan Peterson bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, like conservative values? Like, it's like, oh, his conservative manifesto.
Yeah. His plan for conservatives is what it says. So
now we've passed it. Now we're 252. So yep. Taking a weed break. So here's some we put it on screen. Taking a weed break. So here's some of what is normally my weed money. Well, thank you. Thank you, Spyro. We appreciate
That's
that.
Nice of you. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So which chonky animal are you? I mean, the world deserves to know, Scotty.
Yeah, dude. When I was like looking for quizzes to poll, I was like, okay, this is the perfect one for me and Paul.
I am not a chonky animal. I am a sleek leopard.
Oh, right. Right, sure. Definitely. That definitely.
Since we know that I am the eternal ghost of the jungle, the jaguar. I guess we got to find out what Scotty is.
Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense, Paul. I've always thought of you as that.
Yeah. So I like being the center of attention. And then you got some choices here. Lay it on me, blah, blah. You can read them. It's basically
I'm impressive, but no. Yeah, I'm impressive, but no.
Okay, so
that sounds like me. I'm impressive, but no.
At a party, you can find me
standing in the middle of the room, putting on a show. Definitely not. Clean up after everyone. That might be me. Chilling outside in the sun, soaking up the rays. Definitely not. Keeping to myself. I tend to stay in my shell. Working with the host is best. Keeping the best snacks. Yeah, probably that one, dude. I want the best snacks. If I'm at a party, they better give me some fucking snacks.
Which is your favorite season?
Ooh. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. What is my favorite season? Probably autumn.
It's a good choice. It's the weekend. What are you up to?
See it's a walk in the woods, at the pool with friends, attending an art gallery opening. Of clearly that's me.
Yeah.
Sleeping, reading a selection of Honey and oh God, I don't want to butter myself up. I'm definitely reading a selection of let's be honest, I'm sleeping.
Of course, like everybody else. Your friends would describe you as
Quirky, prickly, chilled, wise, sleepy, prickly.
yeah, that's definitely like I don't think I'd ever describe you as prickly, but that's the only one on the list that I think is even close. Your friends cancel a big night out last minute. How do you react, Scotty?
Settle down for a cozy night in. Try not to blow up. I'm sure it was for a good reason. Strongly stare in disbelief. I'm not too fussed. You curl up in a ball and ignore the situation. Strongly stare in disbelief.
Yeah.
How dare they cancel on me?
How dare they? What is your favorite color? And I hope it's one of a selection of 5 colors.
Yeah, of course. Deep blue, like the night sky. Gray, pink, mauve. I like to keep things different. Or brown. I'm going to go with deep blue. Those ones.
Deep blue.
Deep blue.
What?
Oh, what?
Okay, we
skip.
can skip.
Ooh.
You're a chonky tawny owl, Scotty.
Oh, cool, dude. I love it.
Woohoo!
I'm a little
Who
fat
are
owl in a
you?
fucking hollow.
You're a spherical owl. That's who. You are very smart and have an excellent spatial memory that helps you to remember where the best roosting spots and prey are. Tawny owls are great listeners. Their rounded faces help them to direct the sounds of their ears, making it easy to pinpoint their prey. Perfect for finding out the latest news or hot spots. Those late nights out on the town. Look at you, Scotty.
Damn. Sounds good.
Prowling like an owl.
Some super chats. Yo, no idea what you guys are talking about, but I hear you're close to your goal. My first and last super chat ever. Oh, thank you. Back to my Thai vacation. Peace. I'll enjoy it. Like the Pentagon paying thousands for a hammer or toilet seats. Of course. Always like this one. Just take my money.
Yeah, of course.
American Imperial Decline equal Deep Fat Fried. Also, good documentary series from Vice is While the Rest of Us Die. Also, the CIA equals Deep Fat Fried. Just got my first job. Cool.
I ain't doing the CIA one. Fuck that. I ain't getting fucking murked.
Yeah, like the CIA. Paul disappeared, guys.
I ain't getting murked for your entertainment. All right, I guess I got to do this one too, even though I know that I'm going to be a sleek, svelte jungle jaguar.
Obviously.
Like being the center of attention. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to deny it.
Like lay it on me.
When I'm in a public setting, I would rather be, the center of attention than not. At a party, you can find me. Probably that one, I would guess, at putting on a show. No, I'm not keeping to myself. I mean, I might be like near the snacks and putting on a show, but
trying both.
right, I'll pick that one. What's your favorite season? Winter, for sure. I like the cold. That's the weekend. What are you up to? Of course, I'm sleeping. Come on.
Yeah, it's like I'm chilling, dude. Sleeping.
Your friends would describe you as quirky, prickly, chilled, wise, sleepy. Either quirky or prickly. I don't know.
They did call you old prickle bush, but
yeah, they do call me old prickle bush. So I guess not my. I guess TJ has adopted old prickle bush. So yeah, I guess prickly is probably the best.
Paul will be a domestic turkey. Oh man.
Yeah,
it's mean.
Your friends cancel a big night out last minute. How do you react? So I settle in for a coat. I don't care.
Yeah,
probably
like
honestly, I probably didn't want to go anyway. You know what I mean?
Paul's so like, how can I get out of this? And he's like, oh shit, you guys are bailing on me. Good.
Yeah. Oh shit, man, that sucks. And just curl up under a blanket and watch Hellraiser. What's your favorite color? Blue, gray, pink, mauve, brown. Out of these, pink.
The old pink.
All right.
Yeah,
Skip to see my results.
Doing that.
A jaguar. What?
Oh, you're an armadillo.
I'm a chonky armadillo. You're one sleepy ball. Oh, fuck.
Dude, this is perfect. Oh, so you're like, you know what, Paul? You tried to fucking cheat the test and be like, I'm a jaguar.
Yep.
So you're a ball. It knew you.
Armadillos, meaning little armored one in Spanish, can nap around 16 hours a day. There are 21 varieties of armadillo balls, the smallest being the pink fairy armadillo. Aw. They also come in a variety of colors ranging from shades of red to black. Damn. Cool. Yeah, this one got me.
Dude,
I
they
feel
nailed you.
seen. Yeah, it nailed both of us, I think.
Yeah, I'm a little owl like popping up a hollow, looking around like, and you're a little armadillo rolling around like, hey guys, remember me?
I am indeed. All right, we're gonna take a look at these bizarre video game ads from the 90s. Thank you to all of you that donated. This is of course, a segment that you paid for. So I mean, yeah, I guess we just look at all these. And yeah, these types of ads, like, they don't look bizarre to me, but I see that they are. Because I was such a child of the 90s, like I was 10 at the beginning of the 90s. So I was right in the I was the age of this kid right here, who's the target demographic of this shit.
Yeah, you were pretty much the perfect target demographic. Like I was just, I remember seeing this ad, but I was still a little like young. I definitely played Mortal Kombat, but I was like, when those games started getting popular, I was like maybe like 5 or 6. So I was kind of just like,
I was in the pizza parlor every fucking day that I could be there with whatever quarters I could earn from mowing lawns or scalp off my parents or whatever. I was in there playing that shit, man. I was definitely into, especially the first and second ones.
And I'll tell you one thing. I know a lot of people have argued endlessly about what's better, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but I will say this: no one fucking really, for the most part, plays the original Street Fighter. People that actually played the fucking shit out of the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but this is an odd. It is kind of an odd ad because it's like it's a couple of grown men like menacing children.
Yeah, it's like, what? It's like, they're going to grab you into the game. It's like, these kids be fucking killed immediately.
And Kano
and
specifically
Raiden?
Looks like he doesn't have good things in mind for what he's going to do to this little kid, Like, it might be plausible that Raiden is just telling this kid to fuck off or something, but Kano looks like he's trying to drag that kid into the cabinet with him, and then who knows what he's got in mind,
I'd say this is probably the most mild one we're going to look at.
Paul, back in my day, what do you want me to do, dude? Okay, let me never talk about anything of relevance to me ever again. Sorry to offend you, Zoomer. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Da Baby. Let's cancel this whole thing and let's just talk about Da Baby.
I couldn't talk about Da Baby. I don't know shit
and
about
avocado toast, you bunch of fucking pussies. Game Boy Pocket, now in 6 tasty colors. Yeah, this is another one that, like, this one does kind of gross me out, especially why is this one looks like a zombie tongue over here?
I feel like there's like some Cenobite shit, dude. Like someone's like their heads all been mashed together and shit in hell. And it's like, oh.
And some of these tongues are way too fucking long.
Yeah, it's like a Gene Simmons tongue right there.
I mean, yeah, that would put Gene Simmons to shame right there. That's crazy.
Fuck. There's a
and this weird like Hulk tongue. This one looks like a mouth taking a shit to me. Like that's not attractive at all. This one's all veiny. Like I said, it looks like it belongs to like a corpse.
Yeah,
this one looks like somebody bit their tongue real bad and it's all inflamed.
I'd say this is the 90s, dude. Like they really wanted to grab your attention with shit. But like, and definitely for like the teenage boy audience that was like was for the most part begging for Game Boy Pockets. Yeah, this ad's like, oh, what the hell? And also, I think it offended parents, which was all during the 90s was always a positive. It's like, because parents were always portrayed as like, just basically like, look, they're an ATM for you to give us money. That's it. Like they get no respect. They're terrible.
Yep.
How much longer does the stream go? As long as we want.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you want to extend it, you can donate some money. The more money we get, the more goals are reached and the more shit we cover. So
yeah, because right now I believe, let's see, we're at fucking, yeah, we're at like 285. So yeah.
Cruising World.
Safina. B1.
A hot dog? Oh, I get it. Back here, back in my day, people like if somebody called you a hot dog, it meant you were like an adrenaline junkie, basically. Like if you were a hot dog, you were a lead foot, you drove fast, you rollerbladed around, you like to ride your fucking motorcycle or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, that's who you called a hot dog.
Oh, so it was Cruising 64 for N64 is what it was.
Right. Cruising 64, yeah. So
Or
this is
Cruising
just saying
World.
like be an adrenaline junkie, basically, to the 90s brain.
Yeah, I played the shit out of this game.
This would
So, yeah.
probably be more like a dick for this current generation. Like they would look at this and be like, oh, this is like dick. Big old floppy dick, be one. You know, maybe it would work. Maybe they need to just use this.
It definitely got your attention, but yeah, you're right. I think that was the connotation back then.
Yeah,
if
for
I
sure.
remember
Like you
correctly.
called somebody a hot dog back then. It was, it just meant like, you're the kid that does donuts in his shitty Supra or whatever the fuck. Now you're in Double Trouble. This is Double Dragon.
Yeah, and again, looks like
this is Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
yeah, again, looks like you're being like dragged to fucking hell and tortured by
This
a game.
type of shit though, just having a kid that's all like, looks like he's coming like busting through your TV screen and screaming at the top. I mean, this definitely reeks of the 90s to me. This was like a very common sight in an ad.
Oh, yeah,
campaign.
super close up. Well, like I feel like the graphics were lacking then, so like they really had to use like the human component to sell. Because I think now games are just sold on like, oh, let's go play the game. Look how cool it looks. Oh, look at all the features and stuff. Like then, I mean, games were pretty basic. They didn't have like it was more just about like this is cutting edge, but not only in the way that you're thinking. It was like obviously the graphics and stuff were talked about like bits and stuff, but it's more like look how much fun this person is having playing this game. Like it was,
Right.
it was more just about like what your experience would be, but it's like how much fun it's going to be for you.
I mean, if you want to know what this ad is all about, just look at this crease in the middle. So in the 90s, there was really like access to the internet was very limited if people had it at all. It had not become a ubiquitous thing. And so if you were into video games, you wanted to know
Magazines.
what the new shit that was coming out, you subscribed to a magazine. And so if you're flipping through a magazine and you're reading a story about a video game or whatever, you flip to the next page and this fucking kid's big red, weird, cross-eyed face is in your face, you're probably going to stop and read, well, like, what the fuck is this about? That's all it is. It's to be eye-catching in a periodical. So this type of shit doesn't really work much anymore. They found different ways to do it. I'm sure that there are still ads using this trick, but it's kind of harder to do in an internet ad, I think.
Yeah, internet ads. It's like we lean way more heavily into the influencer shit. Okay, now here you go.
What the fuck is going on here? The new Game Boy Pocket, seriously distracting. Okay, so the idea here is it's like a Gerald's game. It's like her husband was going to tie her up and fuck her, but then he got so into his Game Boy that he forgot he tied
He
her
didn't
up.
care. He's like, wait a minute. I mean, obviously, there's more connotations than that, though. You can also invokes like, could this be rape? Like, so it's like,
Yeah,
gets
she does
edgy.
look pretty distressed, not angry, but like distressed, and like so. Yeah, this definitely is like even your rapist
Yeah,
would
hold
rather
on.
be playing Game Boy.
Yeah, dude. 90s edge is just full on effect here. Like, because if you didn't add like this today, oh my god, consumers would lose their minds. Like this would not.
Yeah. Nintendo would be
like, "Oh,
canceled
we're sorry."
immediately. Yeah, it would be. You're absolutely right. If these aren't the coolest graphics, my name isn't Yawiga Kanawi.
Yeah. This could be on a racist ads one here.
Yeah, I mean, look, this one is I'm not gonna deny it, man. This is some quintessential 90s shit. Like we thought that shit was funny, coming up with a weird name for a tribal person like Yawiga Kanawi or whatever the fuck. And then like implying that even in the tribe they're playing Donkey Kong Land was kind of funny and not distressing like it should be.
Yeah, and that game was not that great.
Yeah.
Honestly, so.
No, I know. I mean, none of these. I fucking kind of hate the original Game Boy, to be honest with you. I know I'll probably catch shit for that, but the original Game Boy, I hated looking at that stupid screen, that green puke looking screen. I never liked it.
I was never a fan of it either, to be honest with you. Like, I definitely had one and played it, but I was always just like, just super disappointed. And what, because like I mean, like it shows you that's where you're playing. I mean, compared to the fucking Super Nintendo, that's dog shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather play a Super Nintendo any fucking day of the week than this fucking crap.
Street Fighter, nothing stands in your way. This was pretty common too, for like especially among video games, where they would like, I think they found this piece of art somewhere, or maybe they had it in their file for some other thing, because it has literally nothing to do with Street Fighter. This is not the Street Fighter aesthetic. None of the people pictured here are identifiably Street Fighter characters. I don't see Ken. I don't see Ryu. I don't see, maybe this is Dulcine back here. That might be the closest one.
Yeah, and Bison, there's nobody.
None of these guys like ring a bell as being actual characters, but that wasn't the idea. Like, you weren't really selling the characters back then. You were selling the attitude. So you get this idea that you're just one lone guy amongst all these different types of badasses that you've got to beat up. And that's all this was hoping to evoke. It wasn't necessarily the characters in the video game, but the gameplay of the video game. Whoa, some tight jeans you got on there.
So it's a explosive coin op action. That shows you here. Yeah, the original Street. I'm really surprised to see this one, but yeah, like the original Street Fighter is not that great of a game.
No, it controls like ass. You can only be one character. You can only be Ryu in it, or Ryu and Ken if you play 2-player. And yeah, it has horrible controls. I played it a bunch when I was a kid because, like, once again, like, this would be on the side of the cabinet too. Like, if they had this game in like a gas station or a Pizza Hut or whatever the fuck, this would be like on the side of that video game cabinet, like, instead of a picture of the act. Like, nowadays, if you go in, it's characters from the game, you know?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Gargoyle's Quest. I mean, this is another one where this isn't like, as if I remember Gargoyle's Quest, and this isn't reminiscent at all of the character that's in it. So they came up with this weird character just for the game.
Not to mention, this is, I mean, completely false advertising, because I mean, even if you like allow, like, okay, it's not even a character from the game, even if, like, I don't remember the game, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I will say, like, nothing on Game Boy did this. Maybe it was Game Boy Color. If we're talking about, like, but this looks like the original Game Boy, so fuck no.
What if you had that magnifying glass with a light in it, though, strapped to this motherfucker, and the speakers attachment strapped to this motherfucker?
Even then it was shit, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't feel that they'll fucking defend the Game Boy at the end of time, but it's just, I don't think it was that great of a fucking console.
No, it wasn't. They definitely got better with time.
Oh yeah, yeah. As it progressed, it got way better. But the original one, like, I had it as a kid, the best game on it, in my opinion, was Tetris. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Something to do with your hands that won't make you go, whoa, bro.
Yeah, dude, jerking off.
Dude, that guy's fucking flogging his hog right there. This must have been in like Hustler or something.
The Sega Game Gear.
It's like, yeah, dude, you wouldn't see shit like this in the video game magazines and stuff.
I think this must have been like, so maybe I think it was maybe in the UK where they're just more permissive of that.
Oh yeah, maybe so.
Because in America, you're right. There's no way. There's no, like, maybe in Hustler, you're right. If Nintendo or Sega wanted to advertise that in Hustler, maybe they could get away with it. But they'd probably get too much heat just for advertising in a magazine like that to want to do it.
Now you can play with yourself for hours with Sega's handheld full color game system. The arcade quality, no, it wasn't. Not even close to arcade quality. Sega games and graphics plus backlit screen means you can even fiddle around in total darkness. And when you need a breather from that fast and furious hand action, this is all about jerking off. This, like, you know what I mean? Like, how many jerk off puns can you throw in here?
As many as they can. They're British, dude.
You can turn on the Game Gear and do a color TV using the hand. This sucked too, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
The TV adapter. I never owned one of these, but I had a rich friend when I was growing up whose dad was like superintendent of schools, and he had everything. And so I got to play this fucking thing. And let's just say, like, as a kid this was directly aimed at, this was not impressive at all. I didn't beg my parents for it.
There's a Lion King game that I played on this, and it actually looked halfway decent. Especially over the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely 100% looked better than the Game Boy because it was in color.
The TV shit, I don't ever remember that really working out too well. And
it had rabbit ears on it. Remember, like, you put it in the game slot in the back, and the game pack thing that you plugged into it had rabbit ears on it and the tuner.
Yeah, it was no good.
It was awful.
I mean, it was slightly better than the Game Boy. That's how that was thought of. And by the way, this thing died super quick, if I remember correctly.
It just didn't have any support. Like, it released with like 10 games, and I think by a year old it had 15 or something. Like, it just didn't. Like there was not enough. Like the reason Game Boy sold is because they were like hundreds of games, 500 plus games or whatever. Sega could never claim that. There were just so few games for the Game Gear, and it was too expensive too. By the way,
Yeah, it was.
remember when he couldn't keep his hands off me? Oh, look at this one too.
Damn.
This is like, you know what I mean? He's bent over and he's got a big dick coming out, and it's staring at her. You know what I mean? This one's definitely composed to invoke like sex, sex, sex.
I wonder what game he's playing.
I don't know. It looks like one of those side-scrolling shooter games. I never played a whole bunch of those, so I don't remember the names of a lot of them. But
I mean, damn, sex sells. I mean, she's pretty much just standing like she's basically in lingerie, like barely covered nipples. And of course, like, you're right. The way he's like doing this, and there's a giant like penis looking thing on the screen. So it's like, come on.
yeah, I mean,
can't be
like,
any
and
more
any
obvious.
dork that is like gonna play this dick shooting game over fucking this chick is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
a
come on.
fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
All you need to be a rootin' tootin' cowboy, Sunset Riders, and a can of pork and beans.
Give me some pork and beans, boy.
And I don't feel like this one's all that weird.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I don't agree with that. It's like it's just
It's a
like
cowboy game, you know. They did a cowboy ad. All 7 shoot 'em up arcade levels.
unless they show me like at the bottom of the ad, like there's a cowboy like holding another cowboy, like so his like gun is like standing on like his ass, just like he like sticking his gun into his ass, and he's like twirling him around or something. Like
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck this is. I mean, this is about what you would expect.
This is interesting for me because, you know, a big selling point back then was like arcade, but at home, and nothing ever quite reached it except for the Neo Geo Platinum machine or whatever Neo Geo Gold. That's what it was, where, you know, that was actually like the guts of one of these cabinets, and you could play Neo Geo games on it that looked exactly like these cabinets. But all of these like consoles were claiming that these games were just like, oh no, we took it off the arcade and we put it on your TV.
They're
And
shitty.
none of them looked as good.
Yeah, they're mostly shitty ports.
Yeah.
In some cases just almost unplayable.
This one's actually not a bad port though. I mean, like like the arcade game's way funner in my opinion. It definitely looks better, but I remember the Super Nintendo version of this being fun. So Haunted Castle, revamp an old game with this new kit.
1 or 2 players.
What's a kit?
Yeah, what is the kit? Yeah. I
don't know.
mean,
It doesn't
I knew more
say.
about it.
Say whatever you want.
It says get reacquainted with the all new GX. Oh no, that's actually the next.
Yeah,
ad.
that's actually the next ad. Yeah, so it doesn't really say. Let me see if it says here. Say whatever you want about how odd it is to have Fabio on the cover of a Nintendo Entertainment System game, Wizards and Warriors. But that's far more realistic than this weird ass model that Konami chose to advertise its arcade to home translation of Haunted Castle. Just look at this guy. He couldn't really imitate anyone if he tried. Yeah, we're better at doing this than you are. Sorry.
Yeah,
It doesn't say what.
I don't know. I mean,
I
yeah.
guess that's what maybe that's what they used to call like Nintendo games. Maybe it was like to explain it to the boomers, like in order for your kid to play. No, just because you bought the Nintendo doesn't mean your kid can play this game. You have to buy the kit. And put that-
Probably.
it's probably what it was.
Yeah, you need a kit to play it. Oh, what?
Each game requires a kit. We call them cartridges.
I remember this. Gex, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like once again, they were just slinging sex at you in the 90s. They really went off the rails. It wasn't like the 90s when they started doing this sexualized ad thing, but they really went fucking ape shit with it in the 90s.
I mean, yeah,
because-
Gex is holding up her titties. I mean, there's not even
Yeah, he
Like,
sure enough is.
like there's not even like so like you know, I get tongue in cheek and some of those ads have been this, but this is just blatant like, yeah, grab some titties. Like I don't know, the game is okay too, I guess.
Yeah.
Gex games I actually remember sucking. So
Yeah, Gex. There was this weird like trend too of like anthropomorphic animal platformers.
yeah,
It was like
was another one,
Bubsy. There
yeah.
was Gex. There was what was that weasel one? Not a weasel, but the Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, Crash, yeah, for sure.
There's just a ton of these fucking
Sonic most famously, of course.
because everybody wanted to try and get the new mascot because Sonic and Mario were so dominant as mascots, not only for their own games but for the whole system.
Oh,
that like
yeah,
it was
hell
just
yeah.
like these different companies were constantly trying to like we're the mascot of Sega Gex. It's like not
Well,
gonna
dude,
happen,
think
bro.
about this. For years, they've wanted to make a Mario Brothers movie. You know, Hollywood is just like salivated that prospect. And what fucking finally got them to agree to it? Oh man, Sonic a big hit.
Yeah.
And it's like Nintendo's like, what the fuck? Sonic has fucking outdone us? Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. This can't stand. Like, it's the one thing. And that goes back to the fucking it's the heydays, the 80s and 90s and shit, dude. Because I remember kids that just would not play Super Nintendo. Like, I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega, but there was kids, no man, Sega fucking sucks. Oh, Super Nintendo fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was definitely Team Sega because that's what I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So there was
like,
a real
fuck you
sense of
guys.
competition amongst these companies that led to there being a lot of really good games for these systems. That just doesn't really exist now. Everything's multi-platform now,
Yeah, we saw this one.
or almost everything. Yeah, we started with this one. We saw that one. Size does matter.
Oh.
Quote, one of the most complex fishing games to date.
Yeah, you gotta get just
Yeah.
lean into sex. Like, barely clothed, catching a giant fish. Oh, look, I'm catching a fish.
Oh my God, I need your help reeling in this giant fish.
Oh, dude, I get it. Customize your angler's appearance and tackle set with over. So basically, it's like make a hot chick with big tits that's gonna catch these fish.
But
She can,
yeah,
like,
it's gonna
toggle,
look like Polygon City Diddy. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how
Yeah.
guys ever got turned on by the Polygon models, but I guess we did. I remember staring at them fucking Laura Croft titties.
it's like, yeah, I
came
don't know
out.
how it doesn't do much for me.
A couple of triangles on her chest, but that was enough.
Ooh.
Game Boy, more fun than a ferret down your trousers. And this trousers, this got to be another fucking British one. Can we
I'm
tell?
assuming so. I mean, yeah, trousers,
Because we didn't call no. These were pants. Come on,
yeah, or jeans.
they're jeans. Yeah.
I mean, so yet again, like I guess they really at this time really leaned in heavily to like it doesn't matter what's going on around, you're gonna be so absorbed in this anywhere you want. It's like
Yeah.
if a ferret goes down my pants, grab my nuts, I'm gonna be smashing that ferret with the fucking Game Boy, not the other way
Better than
around. Not
playing
like
with your dick. Like look. I called the new generations degenerates, but look at how they had to advertise to us, dude. Put your dick down and do something else.
yeah, seriously. Ferret's gnawing my nuts off, but this game is great.
Yep. Gotta love it. What is this? Anti-Jaguar infomercial. Oh, I remember this shit. Yeah. They started releasing new, like different companies started getting in on it. And so they would like make these battle kind of commercials where they talk shit on one another. It was kind of fun.
So it's an infomercial. I guess we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but
No.
oh no.
Gotta love that VHS, man.
Hit play.
This looks like a creepy pasta about to happen or something. Like an SCP we're about to watch.
The Cave, Cybermorph 159, tape ID 1309.
And somebody hit the fast forward.
Beginning. And this story, our story, begins with this. The Atari Jaguar system and a guy named Bob. Right now, Bob's waiting for his girlfriend to show up so they can go out and get something to eat. He's got the old 16-bit video system popped in. He's playing his little heart out. You gotta love him. Tonight, I'm gonna...
Yeah, bits. That was another thing that mattered a whole lot back in the day.
16 bits, but now the Jaguars.
64
32
bits. They claimed 64 bit.
Oh, yeah, they did claim that, but I think
It
it's probably
wa- it
more accurate to
wasn't.
say it was 32 bits.
Yeah, only barely too.
The Jaguar was
So,
a
yeah.
fucking dog shit system.
Let's skip ahead a little bit in this and see if it does anything. 'Cause this just looks like a fucking corporate infomercial or something.
it doesn't want. It's like no,
It's like no, you can't see anymore. That's fine. We've seen enough.
we've lost
So-
enough. Nothing of value has been lost here.
Of these, the most shocking one for me was like this one, probably with the big dick monster or whatever. And
Yeah,
then
the dick-
like obviously this
That's
one.
my favorite. The Go Blind one has got to be my favorite though.
Yeah, this one definitely is the most
This
interesting.
guy's
of
face
the
is
crew.
like, oh god, oh, I felt
he's like fucking the he's like fucking the it's like claiming it'll suck your dick too because he's looking at him, he looks like he's fucking, I don't know.
It
I don't know what
says
to
it will
say.
fulfill your wildest fantasies. Like, damn. I mean, like they're just doing anything to get you to buy it. Like, dude, if you want a fucking game system, you can. You'll do
Yep.
anything you want. Please, God, just buy this piece of shit.
You can go to town. Yeah.
Just buy it.
You want to know why I or Scotty is as fucked up as we are? Just look at like the shit that we were absorbing when we were kids, They just went wild on us, man.
Uncritically too. Just like obviously we're more critical of it now, but back then it was like, yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Give me more.
The more like extreme and sexualized and weird a fucking commercial was, the more we liked it. For sure.
It was technically 64 bits, but never took full advantage of the horror to show it off. That sounds about right. For the 10 people that bought a Jaguar.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like it wasn't super popular.
Yeah. Dude, I had my favorite system that I ever had was that Sega Genesis with the Sega CD attached to it.
Oh shit. Yeah, that was like the upgrade, dude. That was like when they upgrade, like now we have a CD. Because like cartridges were like, well, that's like a weird thing, like the history of gaming. It was like Nintendo wanted to develop the same thing. They want to go to like a disc format, but and working in conjunction with Sony. And then Sony's like, no, like they that deal fell through. And Sony's like, well, let's make the PlayStation. And Sega's like, oh shit, I could be ahead of them. We'll do a CD.
Yep.
Apparently those didn't work too well though. That was my understanding that they broke a lot.
I mean, maybe the later ones, because I remember they came out with like a later model one that I remember a couple of people that I knew that had it said it broke a lot. But that first one they came out with, that shit was like a CD player. It was like one of those standing radio type CD players, and the Genesis sat on top of it. I didn't have a single problem with the fucking thing. I played it for years. This is bad news, man. More like not like any of the other shit we've read isn't bad news,
No, but this is truly bad news for you.
No cookies. Nestle's recalling some Toll House cookie dough nationwide because the ready-to-bake refrigerator product may contain pieces of white plastic. Fuck.
What's a little light plastic ever done to anybody?
I mean, yeah, like don't people say that like every week we're eating the equivalent of a credit card's worth of plastic or whatever anyway?
Yeah, it's like, bring it on.
Just let it go, man. I fucking eat plastic for breakfast, literally.
Breakfast,
like
lunch,
Toll
and
House. It has to be Nestle Toll House too, which is easily the best cookie that you can get.
Oh, they're jumbos, dude. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is cookie dough that you bake yourself that's got a fudge filling, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like Nestle Toll House, that's the shit.
None. Pretty soon they're just gonna start using plastic as filler. It's like now containing 10% less plastic, and you're like, oh, it's good.
Yeah,
it's real good. You done that. Visible plastic, yeah. Visible plastic.
I would assume so if they had to pull it. If it was just microplastic that nobody was going to notice, I guarantee you they would have just been like, sweep it under the rug.
No one needs to know. We're Nestle. So
let them fucking eat it.
Yeah, as far as goals, yeah, we've met that one.
Yeah,
and we're on our way to the next one. Let's see.
Scotty will give us kind of an updated tab here, but if you want to see us look at some public freakouts, $500 is the threshold for that.
We're about 287.
So yeah, we got a ways to go for that. So if you guys want that, if not, when we get to the end of these last few news stories here, we're gonna call it a day.
Well,
so you're on the clock. I don't know how long we'll talk about each one of these. You never do know, but just so you know, like, yeah, we're here. You can see we've got like 5 or 6 more stories to go through, including this one. So yeah, if you want to see some of that stuff, dig deep into your pockets and give, because if not, we're up out of this bitch. Alphabet misses on earnings as YouTube shrinks. Company will cut headcount growth by half in Q4. So Alphabet not doing good, and as a result, I guess, or connected to it, YouTube not doing good either. Revenue at YouTube declined while analysts were expecting growth of about 3%. So that's never a good sign. When you get that, like our economy and your success within it is basically based on the unattainable goal of constant growth. If you wanted to explain the American economic system as simply as possible, constant growth, I think, is the fewest words that you can say. So anytime your shit is shrinking, even if it's a small amount of percentage points, it's a bad deal. Total growth of 6% marked the weakest period of expansion since 2013, other than the pandemic period, which everything kind of contracted.
Yeah. Well, some businesses, like definitely like the ones where you had to go and experience it, like you were fucked. Like restaurants, a number of those went under.
Yep.
You know, entertainment venues, movie theaters, concert venues, like all that shit suffered. But like grocery stores, remember like Instacart couldn't hire people fast enough because no one wanted to go out. They're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, those had explosive growth, like the remote kind of stuff, ride
Zoom.
sharing stuff.
Yep.
All those types of gig economy jobs had a huge boost during the pandemic, but everything else suffered. So I don't know. I mean, this is kind of true across the market. Like, I don't really follow it as closely as probably Scotty does, so he'd probably be able to speak to it better. But I know that the economic trend on Wall Street has not been great over the last few months.
Well, Alphabet mainly, I would assume is like they're in the business of selling ads, and if consumers are spending less money or are having to spend more money on more basic necessities, then more luxurious items or more luxury items are going to fall by the wayside because they're just like, because I mean, like, look, if the cost of just food itself has gone up and energy and everything else, I mean, you're not going to be putting as much money into those luxury items. So those advertisers aren't going to spend that level of cash because they're going to be
Right.
like, well, you know, like we know who we're going to target.
TikTok will grow and said, dude, as a fucking YouTuber, I welcome it. Like if TikTok wants to support long form streaming content rather than the short stuff and provide a platform that's less restrictive and just like wants to fucking make money with ads, unlike YouTube's weird fucking morality police and shit, I'd be happy to leave this fucking platform. I got no love for YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube has done nothing but be a shit platform for years for people.
They haven't
don't
earned
treat their
shit from
creators
me.
well.
Yeah, they've shat all over me more times than I can fucking count. And 99.9% of the time, I don't deserve it, even by the, fucking explanations, the arcane, long fucking explanations that they give you for their new policy change that comes out every fucking week. It's just ridiculous.
And not
They're
all
more ban
responsive.
happy. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know anything about TikTok, so
Yeah,
but I did qualify it by saying, if they provide a less restrictive environment that'll, host our type of content, I'm all for it.
A big if, unfortunately for us.
3 Florida men, of course, it's Florida, arrested in a multi-million-dollar theft ring of stolen meat across the Midwest. You don't really think about meat when you think about people like heisting shit, but I guess it's probably a pretty popular target since it's so expensive. No?
Oh yeah, with the cost of it going, I mean, dude, meat is so expensive now, and $9 million worth of frozen meat. I mean, because they can just go and sell that for half. I mean, like if I have cheap meats and they're like, hey, you want to buy a bunch of meat? Like they're gonna send people out like, oh yeah, this is legit, and then go resell it.
I mean, because people can just
stole it.
look at it like, yeah, dude, it practically sells itself. Somebody's got some prime fucking steak and shit. If you know anything about meat, you're gonna be able to look at it and go, oh damn, that's a good cut of meat. And he's asking less than the grocery store for it sold,
Yeah, of course.
All profit for him. So
yeah, he stole it. So he doesn't give a shit.
So Yosani Leva del Sol, Letier Mansion Andino, and Delvis L. Fuentes, all from the Miami area, face charges of money laundering and transportation of stolen goods, according to Homeland Security investigations. The trio are the alleged masterminds behind what HSI described as Florida-based, highly sophisticated, organized criminal enterprise targeting beef and pork packaging plants in the Midwest.
I would have the source pretty much. I mean, like the minute they packed that shit, they're like, oh, let's steal a truckload.
Maybe even before. Maybe they started stealing these trucks, the freezer trucks and shit while they were waiting to be processed and shit.
Think about the Irishman where he shows up with the empty truck.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what the hell? You
gives away all the racks of meat, yeah.
to the mob. So yeah, it's like that's probably what was going on. Like we always want to make it like, oh, it was this big theft ring, but it was like they just had people on the inside where it's like, hey, yeah, it's time to take this truck.
Yeah.
Or, give me a few fucking $1,000 and the meat just disappeared. Oh, we don't know what happened.
So the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office worked with HSI's Omaha field office to identify approximately 45 thefts that occurred since June 2021, totaling $9 million in losses.
Yeah, so this definitely like these people were working on the inside. There was no fucking way.
Investigators determined an organized criminal enterprise set up in Miami was responsible for the thefts. Yeah, so this like the mob going to these truck drivers are paid jack shit and going like, hey, you know, if this load just gets kind of dropped off in the you know, warehouse or whatever, empty and still locked up, you know, who's to be the wiser? Like, how are you, you know, it's that type of shit. It's just bribery and bullshit going on. It's kind of sad that, you know, something like as much of a staple as meat is subject to that. But
yeah, that's not a thing you're gonna. Well, I mean, and people don't realize that criminal enterprises, they target stuff like this, like razor blades are another one.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, just any product that they know people are going to constantly buy and just want. And I mean, especially during this time, like seeing meat prices go up, but like that makes it the perfect item to steal.
Yep. Attorney who fought Florida helmet laws died in a motorcycle crash while not wearing one. This is, you know, just in your
Darwin Award winner.
Yeah. Isn't it ironic for the day? In the late 1990s, when Florida bikers were still required to wear helmets, Pinellas lawyer Ron Smith was an aggressive advocate for overturning the law. He was a member of ABATE, a brotherhood against totalitarian enactments and American bikers aimed towards education.
It's abate it. I love idiots.
The law,
this is like a leopard. This is a leopard ate my face shit for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We don't need these. We don't need big government telling us we should wear a helmet or not. We should have the right to risk our own lives. Brains and fucking self.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot, dude. Well,
one of the cases went all the way to the Second District Court of Appeal, which ruled that Florida's helmet law at the time was constitutional, but the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles had failed to properly publish a list of protective equipment. So yeah, it's just like the local law enforcement basically implicitly was like, we're not really going to enforce this. Unless we want to gaffle you up or whatever, we're probably just going to let it slide. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Further proving that the police don't uphold the law as they're like everybody assumes.
Very selectively. As selective as they can be.
Yep. He thought everybody should have their own choice. Yeah, well, there you go. So did he. In 2000, Smith's aspiration was realized when the Florida legislature passed a law allowing motorcyclists over 21. Dude, if you want to spread your brains all over the front end of somebody else's car, go ahead. I guess
so.
You're part of your freedom. They had to have $10,000 insurance to cover it, though. You have to have enough insurance to pay for somebody to fix the dents in the front end of people's cars and wipe the blood off of it.
Someone to pick the brains out of the fucking the gravel. Oh shit! I found another piece.
Yep. In August, Smith and his girlfriend Brenda Jean Volpe were riding a motorcycle on US 19 in Pinellas County. They were headed to a memorial service for another biker who died of cancer. And more irony.
That's even worse, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, let's remember our fallen brother.
More Alanis Morissette level irony. Smith crashed the bike as he did. It's like riding your motorcycle to a motorcyclist's funeral and then dying on the way.
Poor fuck.
Smith crashed the bike as he tried to slow traffic ahead of him. Both he and Volpe were killed, and neither was wearing a helmet. So
can't believe it. Shocking.
Yeah, definitely a leopards ate my face moment for sure.
Oh, good job, bro.
You did it. You got there. Time running out for those of you that want things to go on tonight. So yeah, the time is now because I know that we're pulling in our last couple of stories here.
Yeah, we're about $300. So if you guys want to see public freakouts, got a ways to go, but
give now. Give often. Alito leaked draft opinion, endangered lives of justices. The justice said the unauthorized disclosure made justices presumed to be in majority targets for assassination. No, go fuck yourself, bro. Like, even if that is remotely true, pretty much any big fucking ruling you make makes you the target of the same type of assassins and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you are by nature controversial to about 50% of the fucking population of the United States at any given time. And so that kind of comes with a territory. There's going to be crazy fringe idiots that want to kill you. This idea that like the information is dangerous to give out so that we can protect Neil Gorsuch's life or whatever.
Or Sam Alito, yeah.
I err on the side of transparency, always and forever. There's no way that should be used as an excuse to keep something as fucking fundamental as whether or not you'll be able to get an abortion if you need one in your state. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. The impact that has on people is way more important than some abstract threat to your life.
Not to mention, it's based on the ruling they made, and and I mean, the ruling wasn't even based on legal precedents; it was an overturning legal precedents. So it's like, oh, we shouldn't have to like stand by the decisions we make. We should be able to hide behind like, well, don't be mad at us. Like, yeah, I don't think anyone should threaten their lives, but it's not shocking that people in extremes on either side, when political decisions go against them, have extreme reactions. Like, oh, it's almost like extremists act extreme no matter what.
There's a preponderance amount of money that's spent protecting these fucking people and security and securing their building alone. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that this, like I said, abstract threat of potential violence against them should ever trump like transparency of their decisions. They, like, these people, like, none of the people sitting on the Supreme Court right now are of the age where they got to worry about getting pregnant.
No.
You know what I mean? They're all too old and have spouses and shit that are too old. The chances are they're not going to fucking have another pregnancy. So they're making decisions about your life from a position that, you know, isn't the same as yours. So I'm sorry, dude. That, by the way, is the font from which springs forth the fucking death threats, the alleged death threats or whatever the fuck. I don't support that shit. I don't think political assassination is the way to fucking go.
No, of course not.
But it's also not an excuse to hide your fucking decision making and shit. Go fuck yourself.
It was a grave betrayal of the trust by somebody. Alito, who authored both the draft and the final majority opinion, told the Heritage Foundation's the Heritage Foundation. Oh, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
You guys fucking packed the core with a bunch of fucking extremists. They don't even hold this position. I mean, the decision that was decided is directly contradicts what the American people want as a whole.
Yep.
I mean, it's representative of a minority fucking view. It's a minority view fucking imposed on millions of people unjustly and unfairly.
Right.
And they not even have the fucking balls to stand up and say, well, that's what we believe, so we don't care. I mean, it's a completely political decision. It's not based. I don't know what legal doctrine it's based on. It's based on a religious belief, 100%.
He also said it certainly changed the atmosphere of the court. Good. The atmosphere is one of, as Scotty said, minority opinion being foisted on the majority of Americans by a bunch of people who are opulently wealthy in comparison to most other Americans, and who are at points in their life where they don't really face the same challenges as other Americans. So go fuck yourself.
Close. I'm fucking goddamn close, dude.
People are rallying. I don't know if they'll get there, but people are giving it a shot. Thank you guys both for the $10. Alito noted that a California man was subsequently charged in an alleged plot to kill Brett Kavanaugh, who was one of the justices in the majority. Fine.
So so their protection's fine. The guy that threatened them was caught. So.
Right. That should show that there's ample fucking money being spent protecting you from the crazies that are going to come after you and shit. So no, that's not an excuse to fucking further reduce transparency at a time where we need it more than anything.
Oh no,
transparency.
It's completely. Oh, what are you talking about?
I love this in our tale of uselessness from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Fucking scratch your head at this one. So last week they sent Biden a letter saying, hey, maybe stop throwing billions of dollars. I know this is controversial here. Everybody's on throw billions of dollars into Ukraine. Right. But the progressive wing of the party, which includes the squad, decided they all were going to sign a letter saying, hey, Biden, how about some diplomacy? Weird. I know. Weird thing to call from. I've never heard anybody talk about the need for fucking diplomacy and diplomatic solutions before military solutions. Progressive Democrats wrote him a letter, said, how about some diplomacy?
A letter.
Less billions of dollars. How about some diplomacy, Joe? And then like less than a week later, they're like, JK, we take it back.
Take that letter back from you. Just forget that letter.
That one didn't pull well with the Nancy Pelosi wing of the party. So yeah, we didn't mean it.
Do we actually mean this letter? No, we didn't mean a thing at all. Sorry.
A day. Oh, sorry. It wasn't almost a week. It was a day.
A day?
A day after House Progressives sent a letter to President Biden urging him to change his approach to Russia.
What? What?
The group abruptly changed course amidst intense pushback
back.
from Democratic lawmakers Nancy Pelosi and that wing of the fucking party, the super fucking upper crust vampire billionaires.
Yeah, criticize it. I'm sorry, we took the.
What were you thinking? We're going
cowardice,
into the
dude.
midterms. No critique before the midterms of President Biden or any Democrat. Come on.
You think the joke where it's like, or someone will write you an angry letter? It's like the progressives did that, and then they're like, actually, that angry letter was too angry. Let me just take that back. I'm sorry, guys,
You
because
got something. This is so totally toothless. It's not like a resolution or,
A
new
bill.
laws talking about how much money, trying to regulate the president's ability to send money willy-nilly to, you know what I mean? Or denying future payments or whatever until more diplomacy is. No pressure. It's just a letter going like, hey, Biden, the super left, the progressive part of the Democratic Party sure would like it if maybe you stop sending billions of dollars to Ukraine for weapons and engaged in some diplomatic solutions. And then that was taken back a day later. Less than 24 hours fucking later, they're going, take backsies. Touch blue to make it true. This is just like this is like uselessness personified. If you're at all a leftist in this country, this is your representation in the House of Representatives.
If you scroll it down, there's a tweet about it too. It says,
yeah, this is one of the fucking people that signed it and then said they wouldn't sign it today. They're this has been their big fucking rallying cry, by the way. We wrote this letter was actually drafted on June 30th.
oh,
It's like so much has changed. You know what I mean? Since
why
then.
didn't you check out? Why didn't you say, let's update this letter then? Right. Oh, it was written a long time ago, and timing and diplomacy is everything. It was just bad timing. Like, we have these ideals, but just not right now. All right.
They can't quite get their story straight though. This is saying June, and this is saying July. So this, they don't quite have their bullshit story straight, but it's clear what the marching orders were. You're going to say you signed this letter. Like, how implausible is that? What's the point of signing the letter on June 30th if it's not going to be sent to Biden until fucking 6 months later? It makes no sense. So it's bullshit. You're going to say you signed this at the beginning, but that you don't agree with it now. It's fucking, and look at what these simps do. They all line up.
Oh my God, yes.
Here's another one. Fucking pushing it off on this July. Hear you. First, this was written in July. I have no idea why it went out now. Bad timing. Whatever. Why didn't it go out back then? Second, I was trying to get a ceasefire and diplomacy as others were banging war drums, not criticizing Biden. Third, I've supported the effort and will continue. Overanalyzed by some. No.
So you voted. It's like the thing. Look, I was against it before I voted for it. It's like, wait a minute, what? Are you for it or against it? It's like, you're for it then. You just said it. The effort must continue. Let's keep doing what the current U.S. policy is good. So you're not really against anything. You can't. It's like that's a total fucking talking out both sides of your mouth moment. Yeah,
look at how this motherfucker has gone from in June, a person that thinks that radical diplomacy is needed and that dumping weapons on Ukraine isn't a good idea. Now just a scant few months later, his quote, Representative Mark Takano from fucking California, his quote is, only Ukrainians have a right to determine the terms by which this war ends. Yeah, we're just leashed financially to Ukraine forever to finance its military in perpetuity if they decide to fight in perpetuity.
Are you a little war simp? Yes, you are. Yes, you are a little war. Oh,
you're a good little war hawk now, huh?
Oh, yeah, I am. Oh, what do you want me to say? Oh, I signed that letter. I never meant to sign it. Daddy. I'll vote for the next war. I promise. I promise I'll vote the next war.
Such an absolutely wild shift in policy that their claims that so much has changed, especially when it comes to this fucking particular issue, doesn't make any fucking sense. It's the same war. Same principal people involved, same back and forth, same grinding, slogging fucking death ballet going on in the middle of this fucking country, and you're claiming that like so much has changed that you wouldn't sign it today. It's just pussy shit. This was an order given to him by Pelosi. You're going to say you signed this letter months ago, that you no longer agree with that position. It's clear they got their fucking marching. This is your progressive wing. These are the people that told you that they were going to go in and get you fucking single payer health care. If you just elected them, they were going to fucking die on the cross of single payer health care. They were going to die on the cross of a raising of the minimum wage and the standard of living in this country. They were going to die on the cross of the environment. We're not going in there to play like softball. We're going in like, we are going to change this, because if we don't, nobody will. That was their sales pitch, and here they are.
Yeah. That's fucking
lapdogs of the fucking establishment, just like a lot of us said they would be, because they're all under the banner of the Democratic Party. And that fucking institution is cancer with a capital C. It's deadly. It's destructive to everybody on this fucking planet. And anybody that's fucking running under its banner is not to be trusted. Not to be trusted to uphold their fucking word. Not to be trusted. Period.
Well, how could you?
It's an organization that's based on the antithesis of what it claims to be for. It sends people out to tell you to dangle what the rest of the fucking first world has, by the way, single payer government health care in front of your face at a time when you're desperate for it, and then snatch it away and point at the other side and claim it was them that stopped it. No, it's pussy shit like this that stopped it. Getting marching orders from fucking Leatherface Nancy when she tells you to drop your pants and take the corporate cock, and doing it happily because, hey, there's a fat fucking paycheck at a K Street fucking lobbying firm after your house term is up.
Oh, think of the money. Oh, think of the money.
That's what you get, man. There's no output to this.
Can Scotty talk? Well, I don't interrupt people when they're talking. that's how things like that work.
Nobody ever rants on this show. Yeah, it would be much better if Scotty was just talking at the same time as I'm ranting.
Yeah, that's perfect timing. Yeah, that's what everyone wants. Oh, dude. Well, I mean, I don't even disagree with what Paul's saying. Like, oh no, Paul, I'm gonna be the guy to come on the show and be like, politicians always deliver on their promises, guys, right? If I'm gonna make that claim, I better have some fucking great ammunition backing that up, because I don't see it. And yet again, oh, that was my position, but now it's no longer my position. So I'm going to keep funding wars, and I'm going to keep doing shit. Like, what is this? Like, what are these policies?
Oh,
these policies don't make any sense unless you're a fucking goddamn multimillionaire or billionaire.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Scotty, you going to let me get a word in edgewise here, Scotty?
No, I can't.
You
can't let
you
Paul
going to
get a single
monopolize
word
the
in.
whole show, Scotty? Jesus Christ.
Talk overcast. That's all we do is talk over each other. I'm surprised it's this
airline
low.
passenger complaints up 320% compared with pre-pandemic figures. So yeah, it's just become a shit show of epic and untenable proportions to fly in this country.
Vote for it, dude.
Here in Oregon, universal health care is on the ballot. Yeah, go and vote for that. Vote in your local fucking elections for that shit, because you've got a better chance at getting something better than what you've got now at that level than you do with this fucking woe-begotten national election shit that takes up everybody's time.
Yeah, everything I've heard about air travel in recent years, I mean, especially this year, though, when it's rent, because like before the, in pandemic years, it was like not many people want to travel, or as many. So I think the airlines could kind of just get by. But now that it's like people are surging back to go air travel, it's like they don't have the staff. Like so many people got fucking laid off or quit or took other jobs because, like, you got to make ends meet. You can't fucking keep.
I mean, this is just 100% about the profit margin of these giant air companies. Yeah. They shouldn't be allowed to run understaffed, by the way, because too many people's lives are directly at fucking imminently at stake. But it's about lower staffing, not ever upgrading or coming out of pocket to help upgrade any of the planes or the terminals to make things better for the consumer. Adding on to an airport's like takes an act of God to get it fucking done. So you're like, a lot of times you're flying out of an airport that was built for like 1980s or 1970s level traffic. And of course, things have doubled and then some since then. But you're still sitting on the same fucking shitty 1970s benches. So, like this,
dude,
this
we're just now getting airport upgrades in the U.S. Like New Orleans just recently opened a new airport, and I'll tell you
because it became like untenable for them to stay stuffed into that one airport.
Yeah,
like it literally has to get to the point where people will no longer go to that place, and then they'll consider building a new fucking airport.
Like, I guess finally we'll build one. Fuck.
It's a nightmare, dude. Amelia and I, like over a year ago, we were looking at moving some different places in the country. We had actually planned a trip to Maine.
Oh, I remember.
To check out Portland, Maine, see if we liked it, take a look at some of the rental possibilities and some of the purchase possibilities of there, see if we, wanted to do it. Had a whole fucking week planned in Maine. Our fucking airline just kept canceling our Maine trip. It was just like,
what am I gonna do?
Like 6 or 8 hours, whatever, before the fucking first one. It's like, we regret to inform you that your flight has been postponed to tomorrow. And then the next day we got ready, and it was like, your flight has been postponed to tomorrow. We're just like, well, there's 2 days of our fucking week in Maine. Fuck this. Like, I don't want to be stuck over there either and shit. Like, waiting to come home and having to wait 2 weeks.
Oh my god, you guys would have had a fucking. If you had left, I mean, I'm sure you would have got there eventually. It would have been a fucking nightmare, and it would have been a nightmare getting back. Like, you probably would have been gone for like 2 weeks, just fucking dealing with the bullshit associated with air travel at that point.
Yep.
Because I mean, like, you're in California, so I mean, like, you're clear across the fucking country from Maine. It ain't no like, take a flight here, then take a flight here. You're probably taking like 2 fucking flights.
Yeah, no, it's no small feat to jump from California to the East Coast. It's a long fucking flight if you're lucky enough to get a direct flight, and there's no direct flight from where I'm at to fucking Portland, Maine. So you're absolutely right. We were gonna jump from there to fucking Colorado, and then Colorado to fucking the end result, and then on the way back we stopped in Chicago. So it's just become a nightmare, dude.
Oh, fuck no, dude. There's no way. So, I mean,
and scarily enough, flight problems was the highest category of complaints received in August 22, which means, concerns cancellations, delays, and other deviations from the schedule. So just what I got done bitching about is, the thing people hate the most.
And this is
people are willing to sit around like fucking Hindu cows packed in ass to ass and shit. But it's just like, at the very least, as payment for your fucking diligence, getting there 3 hours early to go through their weird fucking security system, they could at least get you on the plane within 30 minutes of when they tell you they're going to.
And dude, and just think about this. This is people that actually bothered to fucking contact the Department of Transportation to file a fucking complaint.
Yeah.
I mean, so if that's the case, then the actual number of complaints must be through the fucking roof. Because like a number of people just sitting there just taking it like, well, I got to get to where I'm going because, there's a death in the family, or I've got a business thing, or whatever. It's like there's plenty of people that don't even have the option. Like, they have to fucking deal with these shit conditions. So they might be there for 2 or 3 days extra just trying to get a fucking flight home.
Yep. And like think about like that situation that I was in. What if I was only going there for 2 days? What if I had like a relative over there that was sick or whatever?
Yeah.
Like that's what it comes down to. That could have been my whole fucking time off. That 2 days that it got, or 3 days actually, that it ended up being delayed by the airport because they kept canceling it and scheduling it for the next fucking day. It's just, I've gotten to the point now where if there's a fucking, like, it almost got me in trouble when we went all the way up to fucking Washington. I went over that fucking pass. Who knew in the spring there was going to be a fucking blizzard? But hey, dude, if it's drivable, I'm more apt at this point to just suck it up and drive, like, even to the East Coast. Like, we haven't planned it yet, but my wife's got family in New York, and so we've wanted to go back and visit them. And I'm just looking at it and I'm going like, dude, I could fucking do this. I could drive this. Here's the hardest part: picking a time of year where going over the fucking Rockies and then going over the Appalachians is okay. Like finding a nice big open low altitude pass over both of those is really all that matters. And I know the one for the fucking Rockies already. It's the, go the Arizona desert route or whatever. You go around most of the mountainous shit.
Yeah, you can, man. Like, I'll tell you what, that's a long haul, but you do have the freedom of just taking on the open road, which, I mean, like, at this point, I mean, that'd be a 4 or 5 day drive and everything else. But like we said, I mean, the hassle of it all, I mean, more than likely you could probably fly quicker, but there's no guarantee it's going to be bullshit free. And obviously there's no guarantee that your trip will be, bullshit free, but I get what you're saying.
Because at high altitudes, when you take high altitude passes, blizzards happen even in fucking summer and shit. This was like late spring when we were going over the fucking pass, and it was like a full blown socked in fucking blizzard. And I'm just not, like, nobody can drive safely in those conditions, and I'm definitely not accustomed to driving in those conditions.
Dude,
so
my mom grew up in Oregon, and she would tell me they would have like piles of snow until like June.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about Oregon, like to like the probably the slimmest chance of that. You're talking about like he probably have to go in the middle of summer. That's like the one. That's the only opportunity we
Yeah.
get. But he's right. The higher elevations, like there could still be snowpack. Like
Somebody said,
there's
why not
freaking-
take a train? Because it's going to take way longer on a train. Dude, my wife's dad actually traveled by train from around the East Coast or down. I was actually Florida, from Florida all the way up to like, I think it was Oregon or Washington State at one point, and it
Oh
took him
my
like
God.
a week on the train. You know what I mean? Like I could get from here to New York City in 3 days if I drove hard. 4 days if I didn't. You're talking about well over a week. No, I don't want to wait. And Amtrak is like it suffers from the same shit that this airline shit does. A lot of the trains and train cars you're going on haven't been updated since the 60s or 70s or 80s. They're out of date. There's way more people using them than is furnished by the car. They overbook them. You get cancellations on trains.
Oh, the only way it makes sense, like, is if it's like a direct route, as direct as you can possibly get. Like Seattle to Portland, I've done that on train. That's not bad. Going up to like Vancouver, Canada or something, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Like if there's a route like I did like Albuquerque to up to Santa Fe. I've done like I've taken transport. Obviously, I did in Europe a lot, but they have high speed rail, so that's totally fucking different.
Right.
I still could have
I
flown.
mean, yeah, I would totally do it if we had a high speed rail line that was accessible from nearby. Like I'd even drive to get to the start of it, or take a flight to get to the start of it or whatever. If there was like a viable high speed rail line that crisscrossed 80% of the United States east to west, I'd be on that motherfucker. But there's nothing. There's literally nothing except for these graffitied up, half finished high speed rail line things around where I grew up.
Oh my God.
Because California fucking passed the initiative to create a high speed rail line that would have revolutionized American travel. It literally would have connected at the finished end of its fucking project. It would have connected Northern California with Southern California with a super brand new fucking modern high speed rail system. It would have been huge. And it's now like they built some on ramps and some off ramps and some lengths of track that are now just sitting dilapidated and covered in graffiti, unfinished. And there's no plans to ever use them again.
Oh, dude, like even if they were ever managed to build it, I mean, it's just like it's going to take so long, and there's not even the funding for it, because I think they estimate now. Because I actually was recently reading about high speed rail. It would take about $100 billion to finish that line in California and take fucking decades.
Yeah.
And
and I got to be honest with you, I think that both of those are shameful statistics. I think that like that rail, if it was prioritized right, I don't think it should cost anywhere near that, and I don't think that it should fucking take anywhere near that long.
It was actually political corruption, because they said basically it was like, I forget the guy's name, but they basically put it going through the Antelope Valley, like, so they basically rerouted the train a way to make it way more difficult to build, which is like why, because originally it's like, and then they're building the Central Valley, which is kind of crazy, because people are like, why didn't they build like San Diego to LA or something, some route to get it started where people would actually start using it, and then just keep expanding the route to population.
It's mountainous as fuck. That's why they'd have to go through the whole coastal range and shit, and that's tunnels and shit. So yeah,
that's true. But like at least something of a population center, though, like something that they could latch on to.
Sure.
Like I think there will be some high speed rail in the US, but I think it's gonna be extremely limited. Like I think there's a company that's trying to build one from like LA to Las Vegas. So I think that might happen. I think there's like some stuff they're trying to build in Florida and a few other places, but for the most part, we're gonna have very little high speed rail compared to the rest of the world. I mean, like China's built a ton. He pretty much admitted that was just bullshit.
Hyperloop, Scotty, it's coming.
The hyper
coming.
Might as well call it the hyper poop, dude.
Dude, I don't have much faith in the Hyperloop ever becoming a thing, at least not under Elon Musk's direction. But what if it does, dude? There's gonna be a lot of people eating crow. There'll be a lot of people apologizing to Elon, man. Thunderfoot's gonna have to fucking kill himself.
Oh my God, yeah. Thunderfoot's gonna have to hang himself. There's no way. There's no way
you can't bounce back from that, dude. If 10, 15 years from now, there's like a national Hyperloop system that everybody's taking to get around, and dude, he's gonna have to delete himself.
Oh yeah. I mean, if that unlikely scenario happens, I don't know at that point. I mean, would even admit it. He'd probably just come up with something else. Elon Musk, because here's the problem with Elon Musk. He's always going to promise some new shit because that's like how he gets media attention. So like, Thunderfoot would latch on the next fucking ridiculous promise he made, like Neuralink or something. Like he's butchering people. He's butchering them.
Yep. Let's see. I think that might be. Nope. We got one more. German protesters
guys,
arrested.
Just to let you know, we're about. Let's see that 290. So we have 172 or 162 to go. If you guys want public freakout, so this is your last chance.
Last story of the day. Last chance saloon.
But the patrons will get it nonetheless.
True. German protesters arrested after throwing mashed potatoes at Monet painting that sold for 110 million. There's been a lot of this recently.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Protesters like have started going into these. I saw somebody throw a fucking like big can of like tomato soup on I don't know if it was a Monet or a fucking Picasso or what it was, but yeah, there's a bunch of this now. Like, and they're gluing themselves to it too. Yeah. Like they'll deface it and then they get out a thing of super glue and they stick their hand to the wall so they can't be easily taken away, so that, you know, they get, I guess, time to.
Yeah, I saw people trash like a Maserati store. They like spray painted department stores and stuff. Like it's especially like I don't know if it's, I think some of it's happened in the US, but nowhere near the level of it like in Europe. Like, and mainly, you know, people protesting like obviously climate change and the dramatic impact it's going to have. But a lot of people are just ridiculing them for what I've seen. Like, it's like, yeah, I get the message of what they're doing, but I don't really agree with, like, I don't see how this is going to actually change that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I tend to err on the side of supporting the protesters and shit. I don't think that anything's going to change because they threw mashed potatoes at a Monet.
Well, no. Yeah.
But I also think that more people are going to pay attention to their, message than would have otherwise had they not thrown the mashed potatoes at the Monet. And I think the principle of protest against the government is more valuable to me than a Monet painting. So, you know, whatever. I don't like necessarily support people doing this kind of destructive shit, but I don't really lose any sleep over it either. Some rich fuck owns that fucking painting. I don't care if he's out 110 million. I really don't give a fuck about him or his lap of luxurious fucking lifestyle. And, you know, and that is at the expense of a fucking Monet. I don't really value a Monet anywhere near $110 million. I don't think anybody else should either.
Well, the continued existence of humanity. I mean, it's that's a pretty big thing. It's like, yeah, a Monet painting has value for historic value and artistic value. And I don't really want to see anyone deface it or destroy it. But at the same time, like, I understand the need for PR stunts to try to get people shaken from their apathy. But of course, you know, the corporate media has been spun like, oh my God, they threw mashed potatoes at a Monet. This is ridiculous. Like, well, you could think the stunt is ridiculous, but is the message ridiculous? Is it a ridiculous thing to want to fight against what we see as basically an existential threat?
Yeah, it says there's video here on this Twitter account. Let's see if we can take a look at the actual video of this and get an idea of what what they were protesting for. I'll see if I can full screen this. We'll start it over because they've already done the act here. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, so they
super glue your hand.
Super glue.
Menschen hungern. Menschen frieren.
People are starving, people are freezing, people are dying. We're in a climate catastrophe.
So they're climate activists, and they're not wrong.
No,
they're not wrong. Humanity is looking at dude. The train of humanity is looking at like a tunnel coming up, but it's actually one of those Wile E. Coyote Acme tunnels that was painted on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all think we're just gonna cruise right through it, but we're about to fucking blow up. So, you know, whether or not I think that this act of protest is the most valuable one that they could engage in isn't for me to decide. It's not for me to decide how these people engage in their activism. And like I said, there are probably more people hearing this message of, hey, let's halt the coming Holocaust of humanity that's happening right before our eyes.
I have to agree with this. They deserve the death penalty.
Kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Like,
and all you are afraid of is tomato soup or mashed potatoes on a painting. Those are some runny ass mashed potatoes right there, yo.
If those are mashed potatoes, then I don't even know what mashed potatoes are.
Yeah,
So that
it
doesn't
sounds
look
like they're Norwegian or Swedish or whatever. And I gotta say, man, like if that's what mashed potatoes are like up there, they're that runny. I'm not going, man.
Wisst ihr, wovor ich Angst habe?
You know what I'm afraid of? I'm assuming that the ecosystem becoming uninhabitable to you. I'm assuming that's what you're afraid of.
Yeah.
Die Wissenschaft sagt, dass wir
Science tells I'm afraid because science tells us we won't be able to feed our families in 2050. I mean, yeah. You're talking about mass famine, starvation, huge swaths of equatorial Earth being uninhabitable that are now home to about a third of the world's population, give or take. You're talking about death, mass, horrible, grinding, hungry, desperate death. Like no joke. That's where we're heading.
But but you know what? I don't like that they threw some on a painting. So everything else they said is bullshit. It's essentially what we're getting. It's like I kind of see a lot of people saying that. It's like, well, I get what you're saying there, but can you really deny the point they're making? You know, and I think that's kind of like the whole point of it. If we're being honest, it's like
it's getting this very reasonable call to arms against the coming fucking conflagration that humanity has brought upon itself with our fucking shitty.
So people are saying
destructive practices.
German.
Right.
It's German.
Yeah, it's German. Okay. Yeah, I have a hard time especially on
Yes,
videos like this. They're not great quality.
Okay.
For the climate coverage. Thanks, bud.
Braucht es Kartoffelbrei auf einem Gemälde, damit ihr zuhört?
Does it take mashed potatoes on a painting to make you listen? I guess so. I guess it does take that because we're listening.
And as somebody pointed out, they put bulletproof glass over these. So like they're not framed in normal painting glass or whatever the fuck. They've got like, so none of these protests are actually ruining this piece of art. There's no fucking possible way that whatever billionaire it is that owns this Monet would allow it to be displayed in a fucking place otherwise. If there was even the slightest chance of somebody just walking up and defacing his painting like this, there's no way it would be there. So yeah, like it's a symbolic act. So it's not, it's like there are a lot of people earlier kind of arguing with me saying like, oh, destroying art. I agree, like destroying art is pretty despicable, but they're not. It's a symbolic act. These paintings are protected against these types of attacks. It's $110 million asset sitting on the wall. This rope ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely not.
This thing is bolted to the wall. This fucking place is rigged to lock all the way the fuck down if anybody even gets their hands on one of these motherfuckers, if that were even possible, which I doubt it is. This thing is probably bolted to a fucking steel joist behind it. It's not going nowhere. This whole fucking thing is not going nowhere. It's $110 million sitting there. That's not happening.
Closer for the goal. Yeah, let's see where we're at. So we're at about, okay, let me look there. Let me refresh here. I'll let you guys know. 38. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're 142 away. So I don't think we're gonna make it, guys. Sorry. I think that's our last story, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it.
This is the end. Beautiful friend, the end.
Oh,
You don't always make all your goals.
That was a salty gauntlet this week.
Oh God,
for
it
me.
was.
I was really being, a couple of different times, I think, looking back on it, I was being consumed by the salt within.
You know, sometimes you gotta let the salt out, though.
Well, that's the things. I burned in the salty conflagration, but I've emerged anew. I'm not salty now. You know,
Phoenix rises from the ashes.
The circle is complete. Thanks to everybody who donated.
Thanks,
if you'd like to donate later, if you're watching this on the replay or you think about it a little later, you know, you can do so at Patreon, linked down below. There's tons more shows like this if you like it, including every other week a private version of this show with 2 members of the cast. So
you patrons aren't gonna miss anything, though. So like all the stuff we didn't meet today. Well, I don't know about the Jordan Peterson one, but I know the public freakouts. We have a bunch of those.
We'll do it. We'll throw the fucking Jordan Peterson one
Okay,
up.
there you go. Yeah, so
For
next
the patrons, they deserve it.
Well, I'm not going to be here, so
them.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, yeah, like that's perfectly fine. You guys go ahead and handle that.
BlackRock is a much better example of this kind of protest. Sure. Anyway, thank you for your contribution here at the end.
Peace, guys.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Let's see.